Good morning, everyone. So I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and cuss me out now because I can only stream till lunch today. And I might not be able to stream Tuesday morning. I'm sorry. I already know Monday was my class. I do have the class on Monday. I said I was gonna figure that out about today. I do have to teach class, my monthly class on Monday. I may be able to jump in the middle because the class that I am facilitating is in the Philippines, and they way behind. So listen, I thought this would be cute with a fascinator. Now I will still do my damnedest to recap everything, but then I forgot I got a doctor's appointment Tuesday morning, and I can't be taking y'all on no more field trips. They don't like that. So we gonna work it out. We gonna work it out. But today I can only go to lunch because I need to do that. The beginning of We Be Clubbing, is that what they be doing to activate the Bob? Because today, yes, on a Friday, and at noon is Kalia's birthday, which is my niece. If y'all remember, y'all might not have seen her, but she's always the third one, the little girl with Down syndrome and all the videos. But today is her birthday party. Her birthday is Monday. She'll be 7. Her and Dallas are the same age. So, thanks to Amazon, gift bag, listen, card, and the tissue paper. So I ain't got to be like my mama, old school, sitting in the parking lot, making everybody sign a card and looking for a pen. But I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it with it being today. Oh, now come on now, Amazon, don't do this. I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it with it being on a Friday because I got to analyze first, right? So I was able to analyze my way into being able to go to the party. You're laughing at my mama. But while she was here, I was sneaking and asking questions. And I have learned that she has stepped away from the princess stuff. And she is now into, okay, there we go. That one wasn't working. I had to break it up. Isn't that cute? But she's now into purple and Stitch. Now, let me tell y'all what I did. Because, dear God, we're going to thank God that Miss J don't have no daughters. Because let me see if I can. So, you guys. Okay. So when I have to go places and I have to carry like my iPad. Yeah, I know I got the case on to make it like a laptop so I get some stuff done. I carry like a little mini briefcase, right? And my niece came up to me and she said, Auntie, I can just have that one. What? You can't have shit, little girl. But hear me out. Did Auntie come through? Okay, listen. Whew. Oh God, I'm already trying to come to the conclusion that my sneakerhead days are going to be over because once Dallas and Denver get to my size, which they ain't far behind, I believe I'm gonna lose all my little sneakers. However, isn't this cute? Ah. So we got it in a little bag, and it snaps, and it has a little strap too. Okay. So this is what I just had. I was about to say, no, I just had the damn bag. Okay. Okay. I might get some. I did go get cash for the card, so we don't have to stop. And then, good morning. We just waiting on trial to start. But her party is at noon at a water park, so that's going. I won't be able to stay on that long. They got these on now. Who put this on the wrong side? Now, don't get people stuff all jacked up and willy nilly. Now, come on now. Okay, you need to go like this. All right, and then a girl gotta have shoes to match her bag, right? And we're going to the water park, but she needed some more little slides. She needed some slides. Oh God. Baby. Listen. And I did keep my word, didn't I, LaPanda? Lawyer, let me tell you something. The way Tiki had to do something strange for some change for Big Unc, you better. I'm sorry. You can't have that one, baby. No, we can't be giving up a bag now. I just see. I'm gonna have to teach her. She got to go to the source. Okay, you got to go straight to the horse's mouth. What she needs to do is ask Big Unc to get TT a new bag so she can have that one. Work with me. Work with your TT. Work with me, not against me.
will need to discuss with me. There's a couple things that I want to discuss, but first I'll ask whether there's anything on your agenda, sir.
A couple of things that just come up, Judge. Two of the witnesses who are going to testify today, two state troopers, we're taking them a little bit out of order because they have conflict. One of them has a conflict with the trial that's going on in Lawrence next week. And he's the lead investigator on that case. So we're going to put him on today. He did the search. He was part of the search team at the defendant's home. I don't think there's any objection or actually, I don't know if there's any objections to be made for his testimony. It's just coming in a little bit earlier than it normally would. Also, one of the individuals who did the phone download of the defendant's phone is going to testify very briefly today about the fact that he did the download and just a little bit about what he discovered. Most of that's coming in through the lead investigator. Obviously, the phone hasn't come up in testimony yet. So to the extent that there's any sort of, some of the stuff from the phone's already come in. So I don't think there's going to be an objection to, not having laid the proper foundation because no one has testified about taking the phone from the defendant yet. I don't think there's an objection to that, but he's another one that we have to get in because of conflicts. So just putting that on the record, I think we're okay there.
Any issues from defense counsel's perspective with that? I don't have any issues, but if you have any, let me know. All right, that's fine.
The other issue that Mr. Scully and Ms. Strazik mostly have been talking about this morning is the defense has let us know that they plan on putting in all of the text messages between Ms. Church and the victim between November 1st and his death. It would be the Commonwealth's contention that those are generally hearsay and not admissible. But there are a number. I mean, we're talking a sizable number of text messages there. I expect that those would have to come in through Trooper Williams, who's going to testify on Tuesday. So that'd be an issue that's got to be dealt with. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but I think it might save us a lot of time if we deal with it before then.
Well, that's one of my issues. So I very much want to deal with that in advance. Is that correct, Mr. Scully? You believe that you would attempt to admit those texts through that particular trooper on Tuesday?
Yes. And just for a little credit, we have been going back and forth with hundreds of emails and redacting old stuff and getting on the same page everywhere we can. This will be one of the differences. And I thought it might come up today, depending on how deep Commonwealth was going to go with this witness who did the download. Was he also going to be deep into other text messages, images, so right? He's not going deep. He's just going to this one area, I think, of these videos that Judy Church had taken of Mr. Fowler that we heard about when he was at her house around the time of the 911 call. So a long way of saying, as a result of that, I've decided not to, try to bring in these things through this trooper who may never have seen them, save them for Mr. Williams. And as a preview, I think that the primary reason that the defense will submit them and submit that we should be able to question the trooper about them, and then also introduce them as exhibits is this is part of the Bowden defense. Maybe the real core of the Bowden defense is that and you've heard this in opening and suggested through some other witnesses and at sidebar, is essentially that the police took some preliminary statements, primarily all on one day in one place with the family members of Leroy Fowler.
Did y'all
and focused their investigation exclusively on.
Hold on real quick, y'all. Because y'all know I be on my trust but verify-ish. But those who have been with me for at least a couple trials, at least a couple controversial trials, right? We have been through a situation where the comment section gets a little crazy over on the recap side of TikTok, right? And did y'all see the comment section start getting a little crazy? Did anybody see it? Remember, just now he just said that they all took the statements at one place, and that was Mr. William Eaton's house, according to what we learned last week. Oh, I can't wait to get these brows done today. No, we don't need to ride out. But Billy Eaton's granddaughter, my grandmother and Ernestine's grandmother, okay? is on one of the posts. Talking about, that's my grandfather and such is my grandmother. Look, listen, the family might get in and tell us something. We gotta watch though. We gotta watch, but verify. You seen that? All right. I already got to get off early, so I'm gonna leave y'all alone.
Warp time. And seized her cell phone. She wasn't arrested when she seized her cell phone. She had come in and given a voluntary recorded statement. They took her phone on that day, so they had it to search. And later, when they went to the grand jury to present this case, what was revealed on the phone that we think is very relevant is that from November 1st until the phone is taken from her in her interview, which I think was November 14th, there are text messages throughout that show a very loving and positive relationship in November, which cuts against the grain of the Commonwealth's motive that she would want to kill him. There's the conversations about going to Florida, moving, packing. And then on the night of November 11th, they text each other all night. The texts are very kind of sexually graphic. But the gist of it is Leroy's in the back room sending sexual messages to Judy, who is responding kind of all night long about how those are good messages and good ideas that he's having.
Well, I think I've got the gist. I'll want copies of the text so I can review them over the weekend.
I think that makes sense.
I've got the gist of why you say they're admissible in pursuit of a Bowdoin defense. I'll hear from the Commonwealth, who's objecting to the admission of most or all of the texts. But I will have reviewed them and had a sense of them, so we can have an informed conversation outside the presence of the jury about these and take our time, and I make my rulings, which is exactly how I want to deal with these things. So I appreciate that counsel have been exchanging these texts and exchanging their views, and we can vet the issues outside the presence of the jury.
And there's just one more thing that I think will help the court is that we also view this as kind of very much tied into the particular presentation at the grand jury in this case, which was just the one witness, Trooper Williams. He testified substantively for about 23 pages worth of a transcript, which is in the court file under the motion to dismiss. And we can provide another copy along with these text messages to help with the Bowdoin analysis. None of the phone information that we say now was exculpatory and contrary to the gist of the grand jury evidence presentation was submitted. However, they did present basically the evidence that they're presenting at trial. Sorry, I don't have a cold. I just have something in my throat. But they did.
Go get you some water or something.
They did present like the statements that they've attributed, via Tammy Carbone, via Leroy, the ones they're going to bring in via Michael Hawkins. The other evidence that they're bringing in was really summarized by Trooper Williams sort of succinctly throughout the grand jury. And in our opinion, what was left out was, all of this other evidence that they had. And they didn't submit in any form, including there were no exhibits presented at the grand jury.
Well, we'll have that discussion. I will tell you, just so you know, my preliminary view on that is that we are not going to be litigating an Odell motion in front of this jury. And what you're talking about in terms of the grand jury presentation sounds exactly like an Odell motion. So normally the fact of the indictment is neither here nor there. As I've told the jury over and over again, it's merely a formal accusation. It has no evidentiary weight.
Real quick, while they OJP, I know this is before we were completely watching together, but I was watching it. Did anybody watch the Hannah Payne trial? Do y'all remember Georgia versus Hannah Payne? Georgia versus Hannah Payne. Hannah Payne, she was the young Caucasian lady that saw an older, what was his name? His name was, I gotta find the man's name, but he was actually going through a diabetic episode, and he had caused a crash. He had either sideswiped somebody, his sugars was dropping. He was trying to get away, get home, get to his insulin, something. And he sideswiped the truck or something like that. I think he was getting ready to blow through a light, and she decided to call 911 and follow him, claiming citizen's arrest, which by the way is no longer legal in Georgia, no longer a thing. I'll pause that. However, she follows him, and then she pops him through his truck. So remember, she followed him, then she boxed him in. He was having a medical emergency. He was trying to get to a hospital. But she follows him and follows him and follows him, finally blocks him in, gets out her car, despite 911 telling her, do not chase, do not pursue, stop, turn around, go back to the scene. All these things that 911 is telling her not to do, and she continued to pursue him with her Pum Pum on her. She gets to his door and actually reaches in and tries to take him up out the car while he's having a medical emergency, right? I believe it turned out to be a diabetic emergency. That keeps coming to me. I'm mad I can't remember this man's name. But Hannah keeps going. Stop, you're under arrest, citizen's arrest. And she's messing with his car and stuff like that. While they're going back and forth with the car, she pops him through his door. He needed some sugar. She pops him through his door, and this man passes away on top of what he was going through. Somebody then followed him, boxed him in, yelling at him, plain clothes, regular clothes, ain't nothing about her. She's not even a security officer for the lunch line, okay? She just decided that what she was going to do was ignore everything 911 told her to do and go do what she wanted to do. And remember, she was ultimately found guilty. Well, they're arguing for her right now, live at the Supreme Court, to appeal her case, because she's claiming that nothing was done right. There was a serious legal mistake because basically they failed to properly argue her citizen's arrest. Her citizen's arrest justification. Okay. Of course, the state is still standing on fuck your citizen's arrest, and you ignored everything 911 told you to do. But if y'all, Mr. Herring, there you go, Herring. So basically, they're arguing in totality, Kenneth Herring, there you go. That basically there should have been some things inside of the jury instructions about her citizen's arrest and self-defense that weren't there. And so they're arguing right damn now. So just to let y'all know, just to let you know.
Well, I notified counsel.
Okay.
Yes,
That's all.
Mr. Markounis?
Judge, the only other thing, and I hadn't, we had subpoenaed in under 279 the medical records from his personal doctor, Mr. Fowler. And I think they would just come in through that alone. But I believe that the son would talk about, he may have taken him on occasion through his doctor. And then I'm not going to cross-examine him on them, but I just thought
Get them coins,
into the record, I would introduce them. I don't have to today, but I could do it through that.
Normally, if the records have been certified and come in, they can be marked as an exhibit, again, subject to redaction, because I think
Yes.
there's always things in medical records that need to be taken out.
Need to get that through him.
Any issue with that, Mr. Camilio or Ms. Strasnick?
I mean, that doesn't matter when they get marked.
Yeah. Okay. Ms. Strasnick, you had something?
Just a couple things. When we were here on Wednesday, there was Exhibit 5 was entered by defense counsel, but only a portion of one of the text messages was
Two words on the text that followed what the Commonwealth's exhibit texts.
What I did was I redacted that. I was able to make it on one text. I don't believe there's an objection to replacing this redaction.
So single exhibit that now contains that response by Ms. Carbone to the last text that was in the Commonwealth's original exhibit.
Correct.
So we substitute this version for that one that was marked. That's acceptable to me.
And that's by agreement. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
That was Exhibit 5. Can you do one more exhibit? Can you do a sticker for 5, please?
And then I don't know if this should.
This might be the most we
Why
saw
don't we do that?
together at one time willingly. I don't remember
Okay.
us working
So the
together this way.
Former number 5 will be marked as F for identification. That is. That is, did you mark that?
And Mr. Narkunis, you have the medical records in your hand? We can have those marked as well.
5 has now been so marked.
They would come in as an exhibit.
Yes,
8, correct?
subject to redaction.
Our next exhibit is 8.
That's medical records.
So marked.
Ms. Strasnick.
Thank you. Today we're going to be playing the first interview in time of the defendant. We've agreed upon the redactions. I'm just seeking to introduce the unredacted interview 1 as well as interview 2 unredacted as identification, just so the record's complete, and then we'll do interview 2 next week, the redacted version, once we agree upon that.
All right. So for identification, the unredacted 2 recorded interviews of Ms. Church.
Oh, is that marked
This
for
is
ID?
ID only.
ID, okay, that's G.
And then my-
Lucky's mom, that
my
whole
last
trial, the
moment,
crying she
during
did.
motion and eliminate regarding the text messages between
Do y'all remember her
Leroy
testimony?
and Tammy, Your Honor had gone through the 16
Her
pages and
testimony?
indicated which ones would be with Barb and Leroy, which ones would be admissible for his present condition and which one you believe would be relative to the prostate cancer. I have taken the 16 pages and made them into, I believe, 4 with the redactions. I left the text message with Barb, but took out the content just so you could see that there was a conversation, but not the hearsay statements. And I don't believe that there's an objection. They don't need to be marked, but I don't know if the court wanted to review them. They'll be marked next week just to make sure they're consistent with your order.
I would appreciate that. So if I understand you, the responses, which I didn't view a single response as shedding any real light on the true declarant's statements, but you just leave that so they know that there is some response in between that, which makes sense. That's a good way to do it.
It just seemed a little weird to just have the responses. And then what I did was I put the 2 relative to the prostate cancer on separate ones just because I know the court was still considering it.
All right.
But they've been provided to them.
Okay. So I will take a look at those. We'll finalize that, but I appreciate those efforts.
Right. We appreciate those efforts as well, and they look to be accurate. I did have a chance to review them, and for the most part, we would just have already made our objections. And
Real,
note
it
them
was
for the
straight
record.
tears.
I will, because yes, I made some rulings and you objected to some or would object to some. So that's fine. Your rights are preserved.
Thank you.
Yes. Why don't we? Thank you.
You're welcome. These will be marked as H for identification.
They got a whole lot of OJ.
If that concludes what council needed to discuss, I just want to see council at sidebar very briefly to discuss my matter, and then we'll proceed.
Oh, now they doing the beeps. Okay, I'm gonna get us back live. I know I just stopped us twice about Hannah Payne. You said, oh, wait, let's double check the mic then. Oh, it's on. Okay. Did y'all see they having a special? 2020 is doing a special on Corey. I think, is it today? It might be today. I seen Allie, Naomi Campbell twin. Hold on, y'all. I gotta make sure. I'm gonna take the drone so that we can capture some good footage at the water park. I didn't charge that. Allie Stakings, remember Naomi Campbell cousin that was on the stand? They were doing a whole lot of she had a lot of tears, but she was talking about Eric being a good person. It's today, 2 hours, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, from 9 to 11. Now it's going to be on ABC, but if you got the Disney Plus, Hulu, You know, all of it's going to be on there. And it's called Murder, She Wrote. Did they do it? The Corey Richards trial. But they are going to be. I thought I saw somebody other than Allie. I know I've seen Allie staking. The jury 4-person and Allie stakings. They got new evidence, so viewers will see police body camera footage of the night of Eric's death and details regarding Corey's promotional tour for the grief book. Yeah. That's coming on tonight. Afro Man. You know, if I didn't want anybody to know about a song calling me Lick 'em Low Lisa, I don't think I would have gone and put it on public record for the world to know. Because the way Big Unc listened to Pound Cake, like it just dropped. Okay. The way he now, what I would like for Afro Man to do is go ahead and get his Patty Pie on, okay? He need to get somebody like that guy that was singing for Patty on TikTok about them pies, and he know he has to sing about them pies. But he needs to drop a lemon pound cake. He need to drop a lemon pound cake. We need the recipe. We need his mama to make it or somebody to make that pound cake. We need a pound cake. The song can just be the, little commercial. Yeah, that too. Now, what did I see last night was I got to see my baby. Reek made it to Ohio. He called me at 6 something Wednesday morning with my baby on the phone. And why did my baby look long and wider? Mm. Must have took it down. Oh yeah, they took it down. I thought I saw a picture yesterday. They may have taken it down. But yesterday was the badge ceremony, so my niece got her badge yesterday. So today there's another ceremony. So she is officially CPD. I killed on.
Ready for the jury, Your Honor?
I am. Thank you.
We're ready for the jury.
Okay, we're ready for the jury. Yeah, I really want Afro Man to leave because there's one thing, as y'all know, I am born and raised in Ohio. And when I was growing up, they used to always tell me that the South started in Cincinnati, and I never believed it or never really understood the saying until I was in high school. My mom moved from Columbus to Cincinnati. She stayed there for about 16 years before moving back to Columbus. But all those years, my first encounter or interaction of that type was in Cincinnati at the Tri-County Mall. Never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it. I had never been exposed. I knew about things like that, but to have it happen to you on a regular basis, that was crazy. And where Adams County is like further south than Cincinnati, which sounds crazy.
Be seated.
Good morning. Good morning, jurors. We're sorry to have kept you waiting. Counsel and I were dealing with some legal issues in an effort to try to streamline things a little
Get my
bit
ass to the
and
bottom.
to avoid too many protracted
There we go.
sidebars during the course of the day. So sometimes it may be frustrating for you to be waiting for us to get going, but generally those delays mean the counsel and I are working hard to try to make things more efficient, and in the end, they generally are more efficient as a consequence of that. I'm going to pose to you those two questions I told you I would ask every morning when we first convened. Since we last saw each other, has any member of the jury discussed the substance of this case with anyone, including among yourselves?
Machines, Jesus, we might have to mute that. I don't want nobody.
Seen, read, heard, or overheard anything from any outside source about any aspect of this case? I should have mentioned this on Wednesday, but obviously we've had a camera in the courtroom filming these proceedings, and although I don't check myself, I understand that there is some ongoing daily press coverage of this particular trial. You must scrupulously avoid any exposure to any such information. So if, for example, you are a nightly news watcher, I suggest that you either desist watching the news during the local news, that is, during the duration of this case, or you make sure that if you hear anything starting to be a segue into any press coverage of this trial, you shut off the TV or go in another room. You must not be exposed.
We know Monday, but we're not going to be live Monday, so we got a birthday today.
It's fundamentally important to the integrity of this process that our jurors decide this case.
Y'all make sure y'all watch all the shenanigans. Cupcakes, Queen Cupcakes, ShamWow on TikTok.
Expressions of opinion or anything else you might hear from any person or through any press coverage. And I'm confident that each and every one of you will in fact follow.
Yeah, my niece's birthday. You got a birthday twin. Khalid's birthday is Monday too.
Case. To my recollection, the witness Leroy Fowler.
Yeah, I can only go to lunch because we got to go birthday with her.
Direct examination, I believe. Oh, cross.
We
were at cross with Mr. Narkunis. So we will have that witness recalled to the stand.
This is the son, right? Son's still on cross.
Mr. Fowler, I'll remind you that you remain under oath.
Yep.
Please seated.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Mr. Narkunis, you may proceed.
Thank you. Morning, Mr. Fowler.
Morning.
My name's Stan Norkunis, and along with Sam Morrissey and Liam Scully, we represent Judy Church in these matters. And I'd like to ask you a few questions here about your relationship with your father.
Sure.
And you had indicated you believed that when Mr. Camilio asked you about that it was reasonably good, correct?
Yeah.
But there were times when, as in any relationship, that wouldn't have been as good, correct?
Sure.
And there were a couple times, or at least one particular time in 2020, when the two of you weren't talking, right?
Yes.
And nor were you seeing each other, correct?
Yes.
And how long did that extend for?
Maybe a year or two.
Okay. And that was at your instigation, correct? You had indicated to your father you didn't want to have any contact with him for a period of time, correct?
It's kind of both, I would say, not just one-sided.
Okay.
It fell out.
Now,
Okay.
The relationship with your father, at some point in time, you and he moved in with Julie Haskins, correct?
Who?
Julia Hawkins, Julia Hawkins, correct?
We moved in with her?
Yes.
Yeah, when I was a child.
And how old were you?
It was maybe.
Sorry, you.
Well, I seen him often. It was weird. So I lived with my aunt when my mother passed away, and then I see my father on the weekends until I was probably around 10, maybe 12.
Did you mean
But
to
you
say-
considered, I believe you said, as to Julia Hawkins, you considered her to be your stepmother, correct?
Yes, sir. My mother died when I was a child.
Okay. And therefore you had great affection for her, correct?
Of course.
And in the context of living there, your father lived there with you and her and Michael Hawkins for a period of time?
It was mainly me and her and my father. Michael was an adult at the time. So, I mean, he periodically stayed.
And at some point in time then, while you were still living there, your father then left that relationship to begin a relationship with Judy Church, correct?
I wouldn't say he left. It was both, I would say. He was with both of them.
So he was continuing to part-time with Miss Hawkins and then also having a relationship, to your knowledge, with Judy Church at that time.
Yeah, he was with Julie all the way till she passed away.
Okay. Well, during that period of time, all the way till she passed away, he was also seeing Judy Church, to your knowledge, correct?
At times, yeah.
Okay. And where there would be times when he would be gone for 2 or 3 days, and you believed he was with Miss Church during that period of time?
It was hard to say who I believed he was with. My father was with whoever he at the time.
Okay.
It's hard to say like what woman, as much as embarrassing it is, but
Now,
He kept
following
didn't he?
when Miss Hawkins passed away, you then and your father went to live
But
with
Judy
Miss
just
Church.
gonna wait everybody out.
At
Wait,
some point in time, you moved in with Miss Church, correct?
I lived above with my at the time my son's mother.
Okay. But that was in a home that Miss Church owned, right? When I say you lived with her,
It was
in
an
the same
apartment.
building?
It wasn't in the same actual apartment at the time, no, but it was in the same, I guess, building.
Well, you had told us that you did live for 1 year in the same unit.
Yeah, that was later on when me and my son's mother split up.
Okay. So when you moved over to with Miss Church, you were living in your separate apartment and you had a companion with you.
Yeah.
Okay. At any point in time, did you feel hostility towards Miss Church because of what your father had done with her while Miss Hawkins was ill?
Nope.
Now, and you think the relationship with your father in 2020 could have lasted for 2 years, that when you no longer were having contact?
It's hard to say. It was before I got married, but yeah, I would say around 2.
Well, did you actually take out any type of paperwork to tell him he couldn't come near you?
Yes.
Okay. Would that have been a restraining order?
Yes.
And that lasted for approximately some extended period of time, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Now, when you were there at that house and your father was living with Miss Church at that point in time, during some period that you were there as well, correct?
Yes.
And I'm going to show you a couple of photographs and ask you if you can identify the people in those as being
Yeah.
the people that you were with. Give them to you one at a time.
Sure.
First photograph. Be able
Yep.
to identify who's depicted in that picture.
Yep.
Who would that be?
Judy and my father.
Okay. Would you be able to approximate a time that might be? If you can.
He had his white goatee. I know it's a new report, so I would say maybe around 2022, 23.
Okay.
In 20, yeah, maybe 21, 22.
If I could be marked, Judge.
Any objection?
No, Judge.
It may be admitted.
They're all three are done. I'd like to be able to display them to the jury on the. They show you in the second.
You may do so.
photograph. Go to identify the people that are depicted in that photograph.
I can't see the guy in the back, but it's my father and Judy.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't know who like those other people are.
Approximately the same time frame, perhaps.
No, this was before. This was when they first kind of started dating because it was my father's old motorcycle.
Okay.
So this is when he was with Julie.
I don't put that into evidence, Judge.
Any objection?
No, Judge.
Baby, Judy, one thing you gonna do is wait the other woman out. You done waited for Julie to die.
This photograph.
Then you was waiting for what?
Yep, that's Judy and my father.
Leave her and go to Florida.
I want to say this one's more recent. I think this is when they were in Florida.
Would that have been 2022?
Yeah, I don't want to say specifically because I don't know the exact date, but maybe 21, 22, yeah. Because I know they visited a few times.
I'd move that photograph.
No objection. Exhibit 11.
If I could display those to the jury through the E-mode or L-mode, Judge,
Yes, you may.
assuming I can. How do you get that too?
Be safe, LaPanda.
The younger generation goes to work. Thank you, Ms.
Absolutely.
Morrissey.
That's good.
This is which exhibit was just up there? Just tell us which exhibit's on the screen
That's,
at any time.
Number 9
Number 9. Okay.
and number 10. And finally, number 11, Judge.
Over here, that's bigger over here.
Thank you.
Baby, she thought she had her one. You lose folks the same way you get them.
Yeah,
All right, guys.
you had indicated that I think you're working construction, correct? Some sort of
When?
construction aspect
At what time?
in 2022,
No, I was working for the same company I work for now.
which I thought that was it dealt with construction and you were management.
It wasn't.
He said
is
it
it exactly?
glorified
So basically, I go around properties that my company owns that other people can't figure something out or need help. I'll go there to problem solve. Sometimes it could be construction, plumbing, but not really a construction company.
All right, but facility management could be a better term for it.
Sure.
And I think you had told us back on Wednesday, November 10th, you had been in contact with your father about collecting some money for one of the projects you had him work on.
Yeah, I had to pay him for it.
Okay. And that would have been the same thing, some sort of facility management project.
No, that was separate. That was on the side and nothing to do with my company that I work for.
But you did indicate that your father was doing some jobs. For your
Yes,
company,
honey,
right?
that was
Yeah.
Jody.
Occasionally, you'd be able to give him a day's job.
I would give him a day's job that was separate from my company, but never with the company that I work for. No.
Oh, all right. Okay. And those would be the same thing, some sort of, if I say construction, might be
Yeah.
rebuilding something, reconstructing something, not a huge project, right?
Yeah, my father was mainly good at construction, like framing, etc., stuff like that, windows, siding.
Okay. Labor intensive.
Sure,
Okay.
at
And-
points.
In September, October, November of 2022, you were giving him work such as that?
One job, yes.
Okay. More than one job?
Nope, just that one.
All right. That you were collecting the money for?
Yep.
And to your knowledge, was he otherwise doing any type of work?
I'm not sure. I didn't really ask. I mean, I knew he always had little things going on, but he didn't have any like jobs that I knew about.
Okay, but he was still physically active during that period of time.
To an extent.
All right. And he was also, were you familiar with the fact that he was also redoing bicycles?
Yeah, he told me about that.
Okay. Was he himself riding bikes?
Never that I seen.
How often would you be in contact with your father on a weekly basis?
Prior to the disagreement we had, you know.
Yeah. Well, from say in 2021, 2022.
I would say at least once a week, sometimes more through text. I didn't always see him every week, but I mean, we communicated through text or, you know, other things. He would show me what he found at yard sales and stuff.
So once a week, you might have seen him. You might have had a text message with him.
All that crap.
Yeah, once a week, because he would stop by and, you know, see my son as well at times.
Okay.
It was turning into
Now-
horrible.
And during this period of time, you also maintained a friendly relationship with Barbara Randall, correct?
Sure. Yeah.
And that was the other lady that your father at that point in time was seeing along with Judy Church, right?
One of them, yes. Yeah.
Okay. When you say one of them,
Well, yeah, one of Judy or Barbara.
okay. But you were having a relationship with both.
Yeah.
What's the period of time that you were actually living at 108 Central Street? Do you remember the years?
I don't want to say I don't know the specific year.
But would that have been prior to 2019?
Sounds familiar, yeah.
Okay. Would it have been back as early as 2017?
It could have been, yeah.
Okay. And you stayed there for, was it 1 year upstairs and 1 year downstairs?
Yeah, upstairs, but then intermittently downstairs. You know, I would go to friends' houses or etc.
When you was downstairs?
Yes.
Okay. And it's during that time frame then, maybe back to 2017, that you saw the photograph, that was displayed in the photograph of the voodoo doll?
Can you rephrase it again?
The damn
It's a
sock.
video. It showed you a picture. Let me show you that. It's been marked as exhibit number 7.
Yep.
Just ask you to look at that for a moment yourself. You had said you would indicate that you were able to identify that, and that was something that you saw in the home at 108 Central Street, right?
Yeah, one of them.
Okay. Back in, and that would have been in the 2017 timeframe when you were there?
I don't remember specifically.
Like
But
really on YOLO
there
on
was-
the last leg.
2020, right?
Well, as long as I wasn't there in 2020, but I still see my father on occasions after, yes.
Well, but you had the restraining order in 2020, right?
Yes.
All right. So you wouldn't have been seeing your father at that location in 2020, right?
I sometimes did, yeah.
And then 2021, this restraining order was still in effect, right?
Yep.
So that's prior to 2020, you would have seen that item.
Prior to 22. I mean, she had multiple. This wasn't the only one. So you're asking me like there was multiple different dolls. Wasn't just that one.
She had more than one sock.
I want you to, did you ever take your father for any of his medical appointments?
Sometimes I drove him, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, she
And
was
would you go in and listen to what,
lunch.
any of the conversations with the doctor?
In the beginning I did when he first he had a bicuspid valve in the beginning.
Well, he had a pacemaker, and right
Due to the bicuspid valve, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, in sometime then, in going into November of 2022, at some point in time on November 12th, you received a text message from Judy Church, correct?
Yep.
And in response to that, you were somewhat upset that you had gotten a message which you thought was late, correct?
Sure. Yeah.
And your initial reaction to that, as you had stated when you were interviewed by the police, was you thought your father was in the hospital perhaps for a drug overdose, right?
I mean, yeah.
And and therefore you weren't overly concerned because you thought perhaps that at that point in time, he would be getting released from the hospital pretty shortly, right?
I thought he would.
Your father, if it was a drug overdose, right?
Yes.
That man
Now-
did that song. That song is all over the world now, not just in Ohio.
And in fact, one of the concerns you had was when your father became mad, you have seen him on occasion use excessive amounts of drugs, right?
I would know he's not excessive, but I mean, yeah, he would do drugs.
Well, at one point in time, you were interviewed by the police and they recorded that interview, correct?
Yeah.
And did you have a chance to look at that before coming into court here today?
What, the transcripts?
Yes.
I've seen them.
Okay. And if I suggested to you that you had said he's been mad enough where I've seen him use excessive amounts of drugs.
Yeah.
So when you first heard about that he was in the hospital, that was your issue. You thought it was that type of consideration, right?
Yeah, it would have made more sense.
And then the aspect, your father unfortunately deteriorated, his health diminished, right?
Yep.
And then following, as that was taking place, you were contacted by someone to come talk to the police, right? Sometime in November 12th, you were asked to go somewhere and meet with some police officers, right?
Yes, after I called them.
Okay. And where did you go?
To my Uncle Billy's house.
That would be William Eaton,
Yep.
correct? Okay. Now, and present when you got there was who else? Was Tammy there?
Yep.
And Mr. Eaton was there?
Yep.
You and who else?
We were there. It was my Uncle Billy and his wife, Jessica.
Okay. But in terms of who the police talked to at the house, they talked to three of you, correct?
Yes.
And they told you they were going to record your statements, correct?
Yep.
And at that point in time, they told you we're going to answer questions and feel free to, whatever your answers we want or whatever else you want to talk to us about, go ahead and say it, right?
Yeah.
And you were with them for approximately 45 minutes, right?
It sounds about right. Yeah.
And prior to coming in there, had there been a discussion through Tammy Carbone about Judy making statements relative to milkshakes?
Not discussion. I mean, it was brought up. Yeah.
So you knew prior to coming in there that Tammy had said she had conversations with Judy.
Sir, they ain't
swapped
have no
emails,
friendly
and they
discussion
talked
and make
about
up.
her making coffee milkshakes for your father. And the family joke was she was poisoning him by giving him protein, right?
Poison him by giving him protein.
Giving him a milkshake.
Wasn't a family joke, but it was said.
Well, that had been said for how many years?
I don't know how many years, maybe a year or two leading up to it. I wouldn't say years.
Well, didn't your
Like-
father like his coffee milkshakes?
My father liked anything that was sweet.
Well, the specific question was he really liked his coffee milkshakes, right?
Sure.
And he told you that, right?
Yeah.
And the coffee milkshakes were something that Judy gave to him, correct?
She would. Yeah.
Well, and she had been doing that for years, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And because it was a coffee milkshake and not one of his other drinks, they
They
referred
down
to
at-
it as that
at
she was
20
giving
hours
him some
window.
sort of poison because it was a coffee milkshake, right?
I don't understand the question.
Well, sorry. his other favorite drinks were fruit punch PowerAde, right?
Yeah.
Which is bright red, right?
Yep.
And
Drink.
you've seen him drink that, correct?
I've seen him drink many Powerades. He worked outside.
And the other was Fanta soda, correct?
Fanta soda or root beer.
Well,
Anything.
Fanta
anything
soda is, what
like
color is
Pepsi.
Fanta soda?
Fanta soda?
Fanta, F-A-N-T-A.
Talking about the orange kind, it would be orange.
It's orange, right?
Yes.
And even the can is bright orange, right?
In a bottle, yeah.
Okay. And those were his three favorite drinks: the red Powerade, fruit punch Powerade, orange Fanta,
His
and the coffee milkshake, right?
favorite drink was milk or like chocolate milk, yeah. But they
Well-
were one of them. I mean, he had many favorite drinks.
Well, but one of the those were the three principal ones for him, correct?
Sure.
And not just a milkshake, but it had to be a coffee milkshake, correct?
Didn't have to be, no.
Well, wasn't the joke that he was
Kathy,
getting
if he
coffee
didn't have it, I'd be
milkshakes,
surprised.
correct?
Coffee or chocolate, yeah.
And so all of you were together in the room at that point in time at Mr. Eaton's house, and you were all expressing your views about,
Well,
right? Let me finish the question
Yep.
for you. You're all expressing your views about conversations Judy would have with other family members about the coffee milkshakes she made for your father, right?
no, we weren't all together in the room at the same time having that
Well-
conversation.
You were all at the house, right?
So my house was adjacent to Billy's, and I wasn't in there until I was speaking, and they took us all in one at a time. So we didn't all like sit in the living room and talk. No.
But you knew the purpose of being there. You were all together, and you all had conversations before you talked to the police and after you talked to the police, right?
Sure.
It's your aunt, it's your uncle, and it's you. And there's a great worry about your father, and all of you are having conversation, right?
Yeah, but it was happened fairly quickly to have like sit down. I didn't speak to them
Meat on your
a
head.
lot prior. I just showed up to talk to the police after I called them.
Well, but you also had your aunt there and you had your uncle there, right?
Sure.
And they were very worried about your father, right?
Yeah, of course.
And you're worried about your father, right?
Yeah.
And your family. So you have conversations, right? About that situation.
I mean, not after I talked to my aunt. Yeah, after the police, we were kind of trying to figure out what was going on. Yeah, of course.
But you had talked to both of them before you got there about your father as well, right?
Sure. Not in great detail, but
Particularly
yeah.
Tammy, right?
I talked to Tammy. Yeah, of course.
When in terms of
just on Monday.
conversations, a lot of it might have been text messaging, which is still communication, right?
Yeah, I talked to Tammy through text.
And in the context of that was the issue that arose about, what about these statements that the coffee milkshakes were poison for him, right?
Yeah, it was brought up.
Well, it was brought up by you, it was brought up by Tammy, and it was,
Yeah.
right? And then the police suddenly decided to focus on that, right? It occurred in terms of conversations with you. When had you heard that statement? When had you not heard that statement, right?
Yeah.
And again, you ensured that you told them that was one of your father's favorite drinks for his, right?
One of his favorite.
And had been so for years, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you were there, again, there were no restraints on you in terms of what you could say in response to a question, right?
No.
They weren't trying to limit you down to what you could say.
No.
They were asking you if you had any other information that could help them in trying to determine, if you had any information of how your father could have consumed ethylene glycol, right?
Yep.
And was there a discussion then that ethylene glycol had a particular taste? Did they tell you it was a sweet tasting substance?
Well, I don't know if they told me,
Ethylene glycol?
but I knew about it. I was a mechanic for years, so
So you knew it was a sweet tasting substance, right?
sure.
And you knew your father had a particular taste for sweet tasting items, right?
Oh my God.
And following that interview with the police at that point in time, did you ever go back and give them any other information that would relate to your father's consumption of sweet products? His appetite for products that was sweet.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It was a long time ago.
Okay. So that statement was on November 12th of 2022. And then in March of 2026, you went in for an additional interview with the government, right?
With the
Last week, the government talked to you. The prosecutors talked to you, right? Brought you in and talked to you, right?
no, I talked to them on the phone.
Okay. And that would have been on Tuesday, March 17th.
Yeah,
And they told you what to expect, right?
sure.
And they also told you for the first time at that point in time, in March 17th, 2026, that there's going to be a discussion about a bitter tasting compound that may have been found in the PowerAde bottle, right?
I don't think they told me about they found a bitter agent, but I mean, it was brought up. Yeah.
All right. Well, it was brought up. Okay.
They didn't
That's
say
going
it
to
was.
happen.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, then on March 17th,
Like,
2026, upon hearing that,
Somebody who up here gone.
you told them that you currently then in March 17th, 2026, had remembered a couple of times your father complained about a loss of taste, right?
Sure. Yep.
And you had no time frame, right?
What do you mean I had no time frame?
Well, you didn't tell them, I heard this back in 2017 from him, or I didn't hear it until,
Well, it would have been during COVID, which was 2020, somewhere around there.
well, it would have been difficult for you to hear it then because you had a restraining order against your
spoke
father
to my
and you're staying
father.
away from each other, right?
Still spoke to him. Yes.
Well,
He's my father.
and so you believe it could have taken place in 2020 during the period in which you had the restraining order against your father, right?
Say it again.
The only time you have a memory of when that would have taken place would have been sometime in 2020.
And not the only memory, no.
Well,
I
that's
said,
the
I
only time
spoke-
you've mentioned, right?
Spoke to my father countless times.
And so what may have occurred in 2020, and your statement was, to the best of your memory, complained that he had a loss of taste. He was still drinking coffee milkshakes, right, in 2022, right?
Still drinking
Distinctive
anything. Yeah.
taste to a coffee milkshake, right?
Sure.
And it had to be coffee milkshake for your father, right?
Have to be coffee. No.
Well, he was being given coffee milkshakes, right?
Sure.
Fanta has a particular type of taste, right?
We can. Yeah.
And PowerAde, fruit punch has a distinct taste. That's why it's called fruit punch, right?
Sure.
And those were drinks your father was consuming and enjoying the taste of them, right?
I don't know if
You
he
would
was
see him
enjoying the
consume
taste.
those, right?
At times, yeah. I mean, he had to drink stuff.
And if I may have a moment, Judge.
Yes, you may.
And the reason that you got the restraining order was you were concerned about any type of physical assault of you by your father, right?
Sure.
Shamwa, did you hear him that whole time, those few minutes in there? I said that lawyer must not have heard of Taylor's business. Because the way he kept looking at him, baby, soon as he said, I popped all them people, I'd have stepped to the side. You ever seen somebody get hit in the head?
And again,
Back
on
up, I'd have scooted over some more.
February 12th, 2022, when you were seated with the police at Mr. Eaton's house and you were free to communicate to the police, and they were telling you what their concerns were about how he could have had ethylene glycol,
It
you
happened.
never mentioned to them anything about your father ever having said he had a loss of taste.
I've brought it up.
In 2020, do you want me to show you the transcript and you can show me where that is?
Know exactly when I brought it up, but yeah, I've said it.
And if I told you it's not in your transcript, you can point it out to me where it is in your
If
transcript.
it's not in there, it's not in there.
It's not
Right,
in
I'm
there,
not going to
correct.
go through it.
Okay.
That was a recording of the statements you made to the police, correct?
Sure.
And that statement is not in there, correct?
Sure.
Thank you. I have nothing further, Judge.
Mr. Camellia.
Lost the taste or
Just
not?
a couple things, sir.
Yeah.
You said that you didn't have any ill will towards Judy before this incident. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was your feelings about your dad, dating
Walk away.
Judy or, being in a relationship with her?
In the beginning, I thought she was a good choice.
Why was she a good choice?
She was nice. She had a good job, had a house. She was pleasant.
All right. Did Barbara Randall have sort of some of those things going for her that Judy, you just mentioned about Judy?
No.
And did you ever talk to your dad about, his relationship with the two of them and sort of choosing one or the other?
Sure.
Okay. And who did who did you push for?
Told him that Judy was the better choice.
Why?
Because he ain't want his daddy living with
Because
his wife and kids.
she seemed better off in life, like
Like more money?
money, house. I mean, they seemed happy.
And after after your dad became sick, after you learned that he had this antifreeze in his body, how did you sort of feel about having told your dad that Judy was the better choice?
Something that I feel terrible about now.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Mr. Norkunis. Anything further on that?
Nothing, Judge. No additional.
Thank you very much. Mr. Fowler, you may step down.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, if that goes to trial,
Mr.
baby.
Camellia?
Thomas Sullivan?
I hope that man said he was popping them in the head and they was standing back up. Listen. Real quick so y'all understand what we're talking about. If y'all did not see it on Monday was the 16th. There was a 20-year-old, there was a situation going on where I saw a lot of reports online where people were getting popped, like the scenes were moving. Turned out to be a total of 5 people, right? There's the link. So come to find out, around 6:15 p.m. in an apartment complex, this boy Tremonte Terrell Gibson calls his cousin's name was John, calls his cousin John and say, hey, bring me that bag. They out here with me. Okay. John brings him the bag, realizes the bag is containing a popper. Okay. Because he claimed he wanted his bag. He was being harassed. He gets out there, and after receiving the popper, he goes and pops 2 men in the head. Okay. John like, whoa. And John tries to disarm him. What are you doing? Well, he pops John. Okay. So now he took 2 people out and took his cousin out. Now he didn't pop. Now John, because they was tussling, John didn't get the straight shot. He got multiple shots. Okay. Then it was a total of 5 people who were popped. The cousin passed, 2 were left in critical condition, and then the other one, so it's the 2 in critical, 2 with non-life-threatening injuries, and then of course the cousin who tried to disarm him got all kinds of messed up. Right now he tries to get away, and from there's a series of carjackings of him trying to get away. 3 more people got popped while he was trying to get away. Now he started telling. Now I know Cupcakes put up the video, But if you didn't see, because y'all know usually I wait for it to get into a courtroom. Technically, that was a courtroom, but they arraigned this man before I could get the rest of the details, right? And I thought I had time to get back to it. He started off the arraignment like, I popped all them people in the head. That lawyer said, and then he told the lawyer to shut up. I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to him. Now, he told the judge, I see things, and the same shit I was seeing that night, I'm seeing on you right now. Now, wait a minute. The shit I be seeing at night, it's on you. Now, hold on. Let me talk to you. Now, this judge don't know what to say. Obviously, this lawyer ain't never heard of Taylor's business, because there's no reason why after he said that I'd be standing that close. And he commences to tell the judge what he need to get off his heart about what happened. Then he goes into, have you ever popped somebody and they stand back up and come back at you again? So you got to pop them in the head. Say what now, sir? So he keeps going and he keeps talking about popping and popping and popping and how these people was demons and he had to take them out. Now, it gets worse. Y'all can watch the YouTube, but that's what we're talking about. It just happened Monday the 16th in Florida. Let me go back to Riviera Beach, Florida. This happened or started at the Azure Estates apartment complex. Like I said, it was Monday night around 6:15 p.m. I also stitched a clip. So if you go to my TikTok, the last video is me stitching that and you can go back. But baby, it even got to a point where he looked at that lawyer and said, I don't need you. Why are you talking? I don't hear you. I don't hear you. I'm talking to him. And the judge like, listen, there's this thing called insanity. And if you want to explore that option, I think you should maybe talk about these issues with your lawyer when you get one. But now is not the time. He's like, yes, it is. And he kept talking. Oh, baby, he gives the whole story. I said, even when he said, ain't nothing gonna be used against me. So when he told me, and then the popper I had wasn't even my popper. When that man said, oh, look, baby, if what you say can and will be used against you in the court of law, I don't know what Mr. Gibson is going to be able to do. He probably going to be sitting up in that forever holding area where they got that boy that sang with High Five that told everybody he was Jesus. He probably about to sit up there somewhere. I don't know nothing about it, but I have never been more scared for another person in my life. And that man was standing shoulder to shoulder with him when he needed to be nowhere within arm's reach. Okay. All right, let's get back to it. I'm up here stopping like I ain't know. Here we go.
Morning, sir. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the cause now in hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. In a nice loud voice, can you introduce yourself to the jurors and spell your last name?
Thomas Sullivan, Sullivan.
And sir, where do you work?
I'm a sergeant with the state police.
And what is your current assignment, sir?
I'm assigned to the Essex County State Police Detective Unit.
Okay. And as a member of the Essex County State Police Detective Unit, what are your duties and responsibilities, sir?
The office's primary responsibility is to investigate unattended deaths in Essex County. So deaths outside of the care of a doctor, suicides, overdoses, homicides. We also assist the local police as requested with any investigations.
Okay. And sir, you said you were a sergeant?
Yes.
How long have you been a sergeant in this particular position?
Over 3 years.
And prior to becoming a sergeant, when you were a trooper, sir, what was your assignment at that point?
I was a trooper in the detective unit for minus 3 years, 6 or 7 years.
Okay, so been a member of that unit for about 10 years?
Yes.
Okay. In addition to investigating deaths, unattended deaths in Essex County, do you have any particularized training with regards to cellular phones?
Yes, I do.
And what kind of training do you have with regard to cellular phones, sir?
For specific phones, the device itself, In 2018, I completed a 40-hour course and a certification through a company called Cellbrite. Their software is used to forensically download phones and
Lord,
analyze the data that's
Cellbrite.
taken from those phones. Every 2 years, we're required recertification, and I've completed that every 2 years since then.
Is there another company that also provides software to do forensic downloads of cell phones?
Within our office, we also have a software called Graykey. That software specializes more in iPhones, and at the time, previously was more.
For all those who have been in trials with us, this is our recertification. This is the continuing education portion for our certification in Celebrate and dumping phones. Okay.
Geared towards locked iPhones.
Okay. But both of those, Cellbrite and Graykey, both do
I
essentially the
think
same thing. They go, you plug the phone into a computer essentially that is running those programs, and they download either part or all of the phone, depending on what you're looking for and what you're doing.
Correct. Each company, the software will go in, download anything it can get off the phone, depending on whether it's locked, the model, the software version, and the updates on the software.
Okay. And you have continued to perform those types of forensic downloads on cell phones in connection with various investigations in Essex County since you became certified to do so?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Now, I want to draw your particular attention to an investigation that began on or about November 12th, 2022 in Salisbury regarding the death of an individual named Leroy Fowler. Were you aware of that investigation, sir?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And did you have any part in that particular investigation?
In the initial investigation, I didn't respond to the scene. I was just asked to download, I believe, 3 phones involved in the case.
All right. Now, one of those phones belonged to the defendant, Judy Church, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And another belonged to Mr. Fowler, the decedent, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And did you, let's start with Miss Church's phone. You were given that phone by then Trooper Williams, who was the lead investigator on the case. Is that correct?
Yes, I was.
All right. And he asked you to perform those forensic downloads of the phone?
Yes.
At the time that you were performing the forensic download, did you know the password to Miss Church's
You
phone?
need to pick a
Yes, the passcode was provided by Trooper Williams.
All right. And does that make it easier to do a forensic download? Then you don't have to figure out what the passcode is sort of with the software?
Yes, if the phone's unlocked, you're more likely to get more data off the phone.
Okay. So with regard to Miss Church's phone, you did these two forensic downloads. One with Cellbrite, one with Graykey. And then what did you do with the downloads themselves once they were completed?
So with the software, it requires a license, but inside the Cellbrite software, you can create a reader report, which allows anyone to view the data that's saved on or obtained from the phone. So I created the reader report. I gave that to Trooper Williams on a USB, and I gave him the phone back into his custody.
Okay. We'll get back to Miss Church's phone in a second. But with regard to Mr. Fowler's phone, did you try to do a forensic download of Mr. Fowler's phone as well?
Yes, the phone was locked with an unknown passcode. So it was connected to the Graykey software, and basically it wasn't supported to obtain the passcode off of the phone, which Graykey can try to do. But we were able to get a partial download. It basically gets anything it can get.
All right. And that partial download didn't get any calls, any messages, any emails. It really just got some of the basic information about the phone number and the subscriber.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. So then going back to Ms. Church's phone, you said that you provided the forensic download on a thumb drive, USB drive to Trooper Williams, as well as you gave him the physical phone back to, so those will be back in his custody, correct?
Correct.
Now, at some point, did Trooper Williams bring your attention to some videos that he had located on the phone while doing a review of the download?
while we in class?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And he asked you to sort of look at
Remember
some of
Tea
the
Party.
metadata associated with those videos. Is that right?
Yes.
What's metadata, sir?
So within the download, it can provide a date and time that it was stored on the device or saved on the device. In certain cases, it will show a model or a make of phone that was used to take the photo or the video, and it can also contain location information.
Okay. And so did you go back and look at the download that you had done, sort of with regard to certain videos that were taken on November 11th, 2022 at between 7:30 and 8 o'clock in the morning?
Yes,
And you looked at the metadata associated with those videos for Trooper Williams?
I did.
Okay. In preparation for this trial, you, along with some of the others in the office, caused those videos to be put on a particular thumb drive. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And you have a chance to review those. You know that they're on a thumb drive.
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, we'd offer those as the next exhibit.
Any objection?
No objection, Judge.
Next exhibit.
Oh, you did. Sorry. What's that?
Thinking the pink one.
So with regard to the videos, sir, you told us that they were timestamped November 11th, 2022. Is that correct?
Unserious.
Yes.
Okay. And was there a location data associated with those videos?
Yes, there was. Within the PDF report that's on this drive, as well as the locations tab within the download, the locations exported just in a more user-friendly manner than in the metadata.
Okay. And where were those videos? Where were those videos taken?
If you took it provides a latitude, longitude. If you took that and just put it into any mapping, so Google Maps, it's 108 Central Ave in Salisbury.
All right. And could you tell, based on the metadata associated with the phone, were those videos taken on Ms. Church's iPhone itself?
The metadata shows an iPhone 11 Pro Max, so it provides the model of the phone that recorded the video.
And was that the same model of phone that you performed the download on?
Yes, it was.
All right. At this time, Judge, we're gonna turn it up. With the court's permission, play the videos.
I don't want that one.
Yes, you may.
Thinking the pink one. God damn it, Leroy. And you just watched them like
just so these videos were actually split up into segments. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, there were 13 videos in total.
Okay. And
you
each
just
one of them
watched
has
them like
a
that?
sort of a
First of
time
all, y'all
associated with them. Is that correct?
Would have slapped the shit out
Yes,
of
the November 11,
I'd have called the
2022.
police.
And the time is associated with the created. The data where it says it was
I don't
created,
care
which
what
means it
kind
was
of
stored to the
educational
phone at that time.
purposes you
Okay, so
claim.
the first one that we just
That ain't-
watched would have
that
been
ain't
stored
cool
to the
at all.
phone at 7:29 a.m.
That's not cool at
Correct.
all.
Okay. All right.
I don't like that. I don't like it at all. I don't like that shit at all. He can't even sit up. Like what? Okay. And you got music playing. Hold on, guys. Hopefully, it don't come after me about this music, guys. Not my fault. The music behind it, she recorded this, and you don't get him. Like, okay, Jesus. Let me tell you something. That's pure hate. That's pure hate. Because my thing is, if you've been okay, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But and I'm not gonna claim to be an expert, but we did deal with a person a couple years ago that we found out later that his antics, which was like this like rage, like this venting, these lives he would do on Facebook and rah, like everything was just like, yeah, like it was just so inflamed. Like he was just so angry. It was like this rage that would come out, whether he was venting or whatever he wanted to call it. Chuck Norris, Walker, Texas Ranger. But it's like, had we seen anybody in this type of state, like what do you think the high is? That don't seem like something wrong. He seemed like he's trying to fix himself, like he's trying to get himself up, like he trying, and he just can't do it. Grunting like that, like baby, what you've seen him, as you say, on the booger sugar, you didn't seen him getting perky. It looked like this. You know it don't look like this. He trying to fix it. He is going up out of here, man. Okay. And that one's thick.
Hi, Judy.
Did he just call her?
Maybe you should puke and get whatever you took out of your system.
No, baby. Girl, you.
You having fun?
Bitch, I mean, having fun.
That's the way to the bathroom. He hasn't gotten far. Maybe 6 feet. I tried to help him and he pushed me right into the door jamb. So He's not taking me out with him.
He ain't pushing you. He can't hold himself up. He don't have no.
Why are you pulling that closer to you? You hit your head on it 5 or 6.
He's trying to sit up, you stupid son of a bitch.
Nice. Is that helpful? Oh, there goes the head. That's 7 times. Boy, I'm hoping you're really enjoying those pills, honey. This has been going on
That is
for over an hour.
breathing. Look at his right arm. Look at his arm.
Those shoe baskets aren't going to help you get up.
Why ain't you helping, bitch?
Okay, well, you made it almost to the bathroom and you fell backwards and you got to start all over again. This is fun. Oh, tore the fucking bedroom apart.
Really?
Oh yeah. Happy birthday, Leroy. Sit in a bag, will you? Hey. What? What? Tell me what?
I want to call an ambulance.
Yeah? Okay. What did you take? They're going to ask me. They're going to ask me, what did you take? Do you understand? If I call the ambulance, they're gonna ask what you took.
Bitch, call 911. What
Throw it up. Just get it out of your system. Can you breathe? Are you breathing? Hey,
How long was it from
Can I
the
call
time
the
that he
ambulance?
asked to the time that she
Yeah.
actually called? Jesus.
So those videos were taken, you said there were 13 separate videos?
Yes.
Okay,
Let me just stop you for a moment, Mr. Camellia. The record will reflect that all 13 videos were played in sequence without any questions being put to the witness while they were played. Go ahead, Mr. Camellia.
Well, Judge, just so the record is clear, I played the first one. I did ask a
That's
couple
right.
of questions and then played.
That's right. After the 2 through 13 were played without interruption.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
So these videos 1 through 13, sir, were taken between 7:29 a.m. and 7:59. Did I say it? I said a.m. 7:29 a.m. and 7:59 a.m. on November 11th, 2022.
Those are the created times within the data.
That's when they were saved to the iPhone.
Yes.
And with an iPhone, are videos like that generally saved upon pressing the stop button? Upon the completion of the video?
I would believe so. Yes.
Nothing further with this witness, Your Honor. Thank you.
That's me, Judge.
Mr. Scully.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Morning, sir.
Good morning. Of
I just have a few follow-up questions, if I may.
course.
And just regarding the videos that we all just watched.
Yes.
So they obviously depicted an individual. Do you know that person to be Leroy Fowler?
I've been told. I didn't
Okay.
interact with anyone involved.
But you know the name
Yes.
through
Yes.
your interactions in this case?
Yes.
Okay. And have you, in your experience as a police officer, ever responded to any drug overdose type of situations?
Yes.
How many times have you approximately done that?
I mean, I've been doing this for almost 10 years. So
Many.
many. Yes.
Is it fair to say that in those drug overdose situations, there's basically a vast spectrum of how the people that you are responding to might be acting?
Yes. I mean, typically in my role, we arrive after any type of medical aid has been rendered or anything like that.
Okay. Have you had experiences arriving while people are still under the influence and maybe not given yet or not benefited yet from their medical care?
Yes. A handful of times. Yes.
Okay. And is it fair to say you see a spectrum of people acting on a spectrum at that time, right? Some in a lot of distress and some maybe not as much distress, right?
It's fair to say yes.
Okay. Mr. Fowler on these videos appears to be in a quite serious amount of distress. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
He's rolling around on the floor in the beginning, right?
Yes.
And he's not using his words, right?
Correct.
He's groaning and grunting a bit.
Yes.
One thing we don't know is these videos start and then they stop and there's a gap of some time and then there's the next video that would start, right?
Yes.
So obviously, we don't know what happens in that gap, what words were said or what actions were taken, right?
Correct.
Okay, but there are words spoken as the videos proceed, particularly towards the end few videos, right?
Yes.
And are you aware through your work in this case that Judy Church is the person holding that phone? Or do you just know it's her phone?
I'm aware that the phone was given to me. It's
Yeah.
the information attached to the phone says Judy Church's phone.
Right. And you can hear her voice.
I've never heard her speak, but
Okay. So that's Judy Church's voice speaking as she's holding the phone recording Leroy Fowler. Fair to say?
okay.
And towards the end, she seems to be negotiating with him a little bit. Is that right?
Regarding the ambulance?
Well, regarding getting information from him just before she calls the ambulance, right?
Yes.
She wants to know, what did you take? What did you take?
That's
right?
what she says, yes.
Yeah. And she, in particular, that exchange goes back and forth, but mostly her, where she says, tell me what? And he says, you better call an ambulance. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And she says, okay, what did you take? Do you recall that?
Yes.
He kind of groans in response. He doesn't give her an answer, right?
Correct.
She had mentioned something about pills before. Is that correct?
In a previous video, yes.
In one of the previous videos, non-specific pills, right?
Yes.
And then she again says, they're gonna ask me. They're gonna ask me, what did you take, right?
Yes.
So he has acknowledged he would like the ambulance at this point, at the end of these videos, but she's still trying to find out what he took and not yet calling the ambulance, right?
Yes.
Okay. And he's groaning again in response, doesn't tell her what he took, right?
Right.
And how he gonna?
And
tell
she
her
says, well, do you understand? If I call the ambulance, they're going to ask me what you took, right?
Yes.
And then he continues. He doesn't answer that question. He doesn't take that moment to express with words, if he's even able to, what he took or what happened, right? He just kind of groans again.
Right.
Right. And she encourages him to throw up, just get it out of your system, right?
At some point, yes.
This is right towards the end in the last video, right?
Okay.
And then it takes a little bit of a turn, and Judy Church, asks a different question. Can you breathe? Are you breathing? Right?
Yes.
And then she says, am I calling the ambulance? Right?
Yes.
And the male says yes. Leroy Fowler says yes, right?
Yes.
And then Judy Church says, all right. Right?
Yes.
And then to your knowledge in the case, are you aware that she made the 911 call that brought first responders to 108 Central Ave to now engage and provide care and services to Leroy Fowler?
I did learn that at some point, yes.
Okay. No further questions.
Mr. Camellia?
Nothing else, Judge.
Thank you very much, Trooper. You may step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Or Sergeant, I should say.
Sorry, Judge, we're just talking about scheduling for one.
That's fine. Go ahead. Figure out who's next.
And talk about what scheduling.
Brian Verney.
Brian Verney. Thank you.
Sir, if you'd raise your right hand for me, please. Do
They
you
didn't
solemnly
put the
swear that
antifreeze in her
testimony you're
hand
about to give in the
yet,
cause now in hearing shall be the
but
truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I can damn sure say you don't like. Your last name can be Church, but ain't no God in you. Leave just watching somebody go through that. Like, you got to have some malice in your heart. There's no way.
Good morning, sir. In a nice loud voice, could you introduce yourself to the jury and spell your last name?
Good morning. My name is Detective Brian Verney, Verney.
And sir, where do you work?
I work for the Salisbury Police Department.
How long have you been a police officer in Salisbury, sir?
In Salisbury, I've been a police officer since 2016.
Were you a police officer elsewhere before that?
Yes, I was a police officer in North Reading for 3 years before that.
Okay. And sir, what is your current assignment?
Currently, I'm assigned to our Criminal Investigations Division as a detective
How long have you been a detective with the CID, sir?
since February 2021.
And as a detective in Salisbury, sir, what are your primary duties and responsibilities?
Well, I'm our only detective, so any
What?
case that needs additional follow-up or any cases that are of more of a serious nature that require more investigation. gets
Oh,
assigned to
baby,
me.
we are in Mayberry.
And I know there's not a number of homicides in Salisbury, but when those happen, do you take the lead on those, or do you assist somebody else in the lead on homicides that occur in Salisbury?
So we always respond initially, but we include the state police.
Okay. And the state police, once they get involved,
They said it was for educational purposes. Oh, we ain't gonna
That's
just
correct.
look at all the facts over
Now,
here.
sir, I want to take you back to November.
Still ain't gonna make me like the videos, though.
2022. Were you working on that day?
Yes, I was.
All right. And at some point, sir, did you get some information that family members of an individual named Leroy Fowler had contacted the police department?
Yes.
Okay. Had you been aware that there had been a 911 call and a police and ambulance response to Mr. Fowler's home on November 11th, 2022, when you first spoke to the family on the 12th?
I had read it in our police log in the morning.
So aware of it, but not involved.
Correct.
All right. After speaking to the family members, what did you do on the 12th, sir?
I contacted the state. Actually, at first I contacted my lieutenant and filled him in on the what was told to me, and then he contacted the state police.
Okay. And did some state troopers come up to the Salisbury PD to Salisbury to meet with you?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And where was the first? So was that at the time then Trooper Williams, now Sergeant Williams?
Yes.
Okay. There was a second trooper who was also around, a Trooper Landon. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, did you and Trooper Williams go someplace when Trooper Williams came up to Salisbury and made contact with you on the 12th?
Yes.
All right. Where'd you go?
We went to 108 Central Ave.
Okay. Had you been to 108 Central Ave, or at least the area, in connection with your duties previous to this day?
In that area, yes.
Okay. Did you know either Leroy Fowler or Judy Church at that point in time?
There had been some past involvement.
You personally? Did you
Personally,
know
no.
No. Okay. So you and Trooper Williams went over to 108 Central Ave and go in a cruiser. Is that fair?
I think
We
they
drove in
found
my
the bottle
car,
of the
yes.
De-Icer in the house and at the bottom of the
you're
PowerAde bottle.
generally a plainclothes officer. Is that fair?
Generally,
Ain't
but
got
on this
to yet.
day,
Yeah.
I was assigned to patrol to cover the road from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m.
So you were wearing your uniform on that day.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And in Salisbury, do police uniforms for patrol officers include body cams?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And were you wearing your body cam on that day?
Yes, I was.
Now, about what time was it that you and Trooper Williams went to 108 Central?
I believe it was a little after 3 o'clock.
Okay. And what did you do when you went there?
We knocked on the door, tried
get
to
a-
contact somebody who lived there.
All right. Did you get an answer?
No.
Okay. Did you decide to wait around for a few minutes, just I don't know, talking or see what sort of happened?
Yes,
Okay. So where were you and Trooper Williams after you knocked on the door and didn't get an answer?
we were on the sidewalk in front of the house.
Okay. After a few minutes, did something happen?
Yes,
What was that?
Judy showed up.
Okay. And how did she arrive?
She drove there in her car.
Okay. So when she got out of her car, did you realize who she was? Did you recognize her sort of, or did she introduce herself?
Yeah, Trooper Williams went over and spoke with her.
Okay. And did you and Trooper Williams have a conversation with Miss Church out in the driveway sidewalk area?
Yes, we did.
When you first contacted Miss Church, so you walk up to her? Is that fair to say? And how close were you when you were talking to her?
Within a few feet.
Okay. And did she appear to be under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
No.
Did she have any difficulty Did she appear to have any difficulty to understand what you were saying to her?
No.
Did you have any difficulty understanding her responses to your questions or Trooper Williams' questions?
No.
Now, at this point, you only had your brief phone conversations with some of Mr. Fowler, Leroy Fowler's family. Was it just one family member that you had spoken to at that point in time?
Yes.
Okay. Had you spoken to anyone else about Mr. Fowler and his condition at that point in time?
So we had spoken with a doctor at Mount Auburn Hospital.
Okay. And did you know that there was a concern at that point in time regarding antifreeze or ethylene glycol present in Mr. Fowler's blood? Did you tell Ms. Church that you were going to use your body cam to record the conversation that you had with her?
Yes, I did.
And in connection, in preparation for today and your testimony, you and I had placed on a thumb drive the body cam footage of that interview. Is that fair? Okay. Your Honor, I'd offer this as the next exhibit.
No objection, Judge.
It may come in.
You know what? I'm gonna put it on I'm gonna put it on one of these. And we'll tag it. What number is this? Okay.
Exhibit 13, thank you.
13, so marked. You're welcome.
Judge, if, with the court's permission, we're going to start the video.
You may.
My son. Hi. Hi, babe. Yeah, hon. Would you let my son come out with me?
I would prefer to talk to you.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know, big police, dog free police. This is getting better and better.
So, just so you know, we have body cams. I don't know.
Body cam, yeah.
So just, it's on, it's recording.
Oh, yeah.
Is this comfortable for you to talk about it? Okay. I'll let you go. Just because Leroy's in critical condition, we want to just follow up and just kind of find out what happened.
I'm just going to stop it there for 1 sec. Just to have the individual that was just speaking, that is you, correct?
The voice you're hearing is me, yes.
Okay. Then the individual wearing the white shirt and the tie on the left side is Trooper Williams.
That's correct.
And then Miss Church on the right.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The state police is here?
Yeah, so I'm assigned to the Essex County District Attorney's Office. So in this case, we investigate all deaths. There has obviously not been a death. But Salisbury is preemptively reaching out to us because I know he's your boyfriend, correct?
Yes.
So he's in critical condition. Like, kind of give you an idea of what my job is. Like today I was in Lynn. There was a man that overdosed and died in Lynn. So we go, look, that's what we do. We had spoken to the doctor. We know that your boyfriend is in critical condition. There's a possibility. Just he's not in good condition. You're at the hospital today. So we're trying to just get ahead of everything and just get all our ducks in a row. So I just kind of want to know, I have to go through a walkthrough of what happened yesterday. I heard that he had seizures. Is that accurate?
He couldn't walk.
Couldn't walk. So could you just, because I believe it was 8:30 in the morning it came in the calls.
You think around 8 o'clock?
Can you just walk me through like how he was the night before and then the morning and then what led to 911? Because obviously I wasn't here yesterday, so I just kind of need to know what happened and then
Yes, my God.
yeah. I just kind of need to know what happened and then that's pretty much it.
So around 9 o'clock, we were watching TV in the bedroom. That's our bedroom. We were home in the back. And I put on like a Christmas, Hallmark Christmas. Thank you. And he went out in the back room, which he does often, was on his phone. And I checked on him every once in a while. We had done a lot of work that day. We were trying to get back to Florida. Are you telling me he's dying?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying.
Nobody.
But I'm saying
We're trying to figure out how did he get there?
Because when you said that,
Were the drugs involved?
like the
or
doctor just said he's in critical condition, right? So obviously that's just something where when we hear critical as state police, unfortunately, just.
I heard last night they were going to do dialysis.
Yes. Yep, they're going to do that. Yes.
No, they are going to do
Yes.
that because all his numbers were coming down.
So that's why we just, in these situations, the police departments reach out to us. We come out, and obviously, I've had plenty of times. Like just last week, I was at a shooting in Lawrence. The guy gets shot. I
don't care about anybody else. All right.
I'm just saying we preemptively will do things, and then people. It doesn't result in death, though. Like this, unfortunately, this is just my line of work, and it's very uncomfortable. I understand that. So by no means am I trying to add stress to you. It's just with the district attorney's office, it's just what has to be done for these type of incidents.
just from our perspective, it's a lot easier to kind of figure out what's going on rather than a week or two from now.
Yes.
Coming back and trying to say, no, you remember what happened last night a lot better today than you would a month from now. So we just try to, it's just part of what we do.
I have a tremendous amount of empathy for what you're going through. I'm not trying to add stress to you.
Just rolled over to the hospital and they said that she couldn't visit, so just.
We wasn't taking visitors and that. I wasn't proxy. I know every medical issue.
Well, see, that's an important reason why we want to talk to you. That's exactly the reason we're here.
Yeah.
So you probably know more about him than anybody else.
Yes.
So anyways, he goes out in the back room and he watches his true crime stories and I'm watching my Hallmark and every once in a while I hear him get a soda and he puts his head in and
Okay, I hate to be this person, but please look. Why is she looking like Eileen Wuornos to me? Just I'm seeing Eileen.
The dog's out.
I'm not saying she did anything. I'm saying
anyway. So
giving Eileen.
It was a few times that we had kind of talked and everything seemed fine. He was doing what he does out in the back room.
When you say back room,
It's
up here?
At the stairway.
Okay, that's like just hang out.
So like he was like coherent, performing, like nothing that was out of it.
Right. And
Look at that hairline. Look how she's down.
Conversation.
Give it Eileen.
And around 4,
Look at that profile.
Because I looked at, we were expecting a friend of his to pick up metal that we had put in Saab's driveway. And they, around 4, I looked at the clock. It was like 4:20. And I knew his friend wasn't coming till 11 in the afternoon.
Who was his friend?
Jimmy.
Jenny. Okay, so he was just coming to like hang out. Or...
No, he picked up the metal.
Oh, the guy picked up the metal coming at 11.
He
Okay,
wasn't coming till 11 next day.
Yeah.
And that's what he told me. And that was at 4 something in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And
So from 9 to 4.
Kathy, they with a check.
He's in the back room.
Right, but so at 4 a.m. he told you someone's coming at 11.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm
I
sorry.
asked him. I said, "Is that Kenny out there?" And it's not his truck, and I don't know, who that is, but they're taking all the metal.
Yep.
And
Oh,
we
I
went,
got
okay, and around 6:30, he comes into the bedroom he falls asleep out in the back. And I comes in. We had some relations between the two of us, I'm not going to say it on camera.
Yeah.
And everything was fine.
That was
But
like
he-
6 a.m.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, but he told me, he says, I fell like 3 times. I can't walk.
Mm.
And he says, and I had to go back. And I said, let me help you. Well, he was legless.
Mm. And was that also around 6 a.m.?
No, it's now 7.
Now 7. I don't know.
7.
Yeah, like this.
All right.
And anyways, I was trying to get him back into the bed. He did. He got back into the bed. He's like really bad. And he's it's not, it didn't hurt me or anything, but he's combative. He had something in his head and he had to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, let me help you. Boom, he falls, our bed's like this high off the ground. Boom, fell right out, took all the covers with him. I get up, and I'm hoping he's just going to stay down for the count. I put a pillow under his head, I put a blanket over him. Nope, he's going to stay down.
Is he like altered mental state probably at this time? He's not acting like himself?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Talking.
So when you say like combative, then it's almost like
He
didn't know what was going on. Yeah, disoriented. Okay, all right. So okay, got it.
And wouldn't just do as I asked. And
Yes.
every
okay.
time I got him close to even getting a hand up on the bed,
Yeah.
he'd turn, and and it'd be like, here we go. And so he bounced around the room, and I was like, do I need to call the ambulance? And that was maybe 7:30. I don't remember the time frame.
Yep.
But
Why you ain't tell them you was
I
recording?
tried to get him to say my name, talk to me. Can you hear what I'm saying? And he really had no words, but he did say call the ambulance.
Mm. Yeah, he didn't feel. Yeah. And then were you the one that called?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're the son, right?
Yeah.
Son. So, but just you live upstairs. There's nobody else that lives upstairs in the second
Leroy
floor.
on that.
Just you two live upstairs on the second floor. Okay. So then you called the ambulance. I'm assuming they came, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they took him.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he woke up from 4 a.m. to then, I don't know anything about him. Does he abuse alcohol? Does he use narcotics?
Nope.
Does he, I guess, any like unhealthy activities? To be vague, like he doesn't drink, he doesn't use drugs.
I have known him to do some recreational drugs.
Okay, and that's what type?
Part of what we're trying to figure out.
Perks,
Yeah, figure out kind of what happened.
coke.
Okay. Did he do cocaine
Nothing.
or Percocet that morning?
I have no idea.
Okay, because when he was up at 4, but then you were kind of up around 4. You didn't see him, at least to your knowledge. You didn't see him do cocaine or take Percocets.
No.
And when he, I'm assuming when he would take cocaine, he would snort it. But is that accurate? The cocaine.
I guess so.
Okay, and then have you ever seen him take Percocets? Does he snort them? Does he ingest them orally?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. And then
I don't know how he
ingests.
I guess you take a pill and you snort cocaine.
Okay. Did he eat breakfast? Did he drink anything? He didn't have any alcohol?
It was too early. I mean,
Too early.
he was out of it.
Okay, so he didn't eat anything, didn't drink anything?
No,
Okay.
he really didn't.
Okay, because I heard that you thought he might have ingested something. So that's what I'm-
Because this guy had seen this before.
Yeah.
Like right when COVID had happened, it was like 48 hours of hell for me.
Oh, wow.
Because, like I said, he was out and he had left before and then came back, and he's got his, little secrets. And
what do you mean by secrets?
We're not here to make any judgments.
I know.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
I know.
I'm not trying to interject. It's just part of
We
my
need-
job.
we need to
I'm
know
probably judging
everything.
it. I'm not trying to interject into like your personal life. I know your son's here.
you can buy anything on the street, anything. People sell it all, and he knows them. So
Got it.
that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, I know what you mean. Okay.
So he left, and then came back, and then.
Out of it?
That morning?
No,
Oh,
back
this
in
is the other time. The first time?
2019.
Because when you've seen him, I'm assuming you've seen him after he's either taken Percocets or cocaine in the past. Have you seen him like high on those before?
I wouldn't know what to look for.
Like,
Percocets.
What he was displaying the other day, like his physical, what he was displaying, have you seen
similar
that?
was similar to, like I said, those hours, days actually. But he had more words, but a lot of gibberish.
A lot
back
of
in
gibberish.
2008.
He'll run off and do the stuff. There's nothing that goes on in the second.
He does.
He'll
He leaves for days.
yeah, he'll leave for days.
He's not always
like,
here.
would you
Let's
say,
put it that way.
He
He's
likes
not always here.
He likes to party.
Like going on like a bender type situation.
Yeah. He's got another, he loves me.
I have people in my life like that. I know what you mean, with people that you care about who go off on benders, and it's almost like two different personalities. It depends. You don't know who you're going to get some days. That's at least my personal experience with people I know and care about. It happens a lot more than you think.
Yep. So, he works hard, plays hard.
Yeah. What does he do for work?
Although he's disabled,
Oh,
he does, he'll do things,
He's like Andy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then, basically, just make sure I have it right. He was good the night before. Woke up at 4. His friend.
And they had a conversation. We had a conversation at 4:30.
I can attest to that too because I spoke to him when I get home like 7ish
Yeah.
from work.
Yeah.
That night.
And he was telling me, hey, I just banged around a bunch of stuff in the back, and I cleaned up the back room. You can go check it out. Put everything to the side, blah blah blah. And I was like, cool, yeah. He's like, this weekend, I'll help you put new fenders on your truck and blah blah blah. And I was like, cool, I'm down. But yeah, after that,
then you didn't see him until after he went to bed.
No,
the next day.
That, no.
Okay, and then he woke up, didn't eat breakfast or have coffee or whatever.
Too early.
Like that. Too early, and then
we heard banging around
He doesn't drink
upstairs.
coffee.
It sounds like there was a period of, how long was that period where he started displaying the symptoms and then he was like, call the ambulance? Like, was that like an hour? Was that like 2 hours?
Like an hour.
Like an hour. So it's about an hour of like trying to, you don't feel good, you're trying to work through it, and then
because
eventually.
I had seen all of this before.
Yeah.
I could get him to calm, down, and I was hoping for that. And, he was just clutching at everything in the bedroom. Tore down the curtains, and and I kept telling him that rocking chair is not going to help you get up. Let me help you, and just make sure he wasn't hurting himself.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of that, like, has he ever in the past had any suicidal tendencies or ideations or suicidal attempts? No. So he's not. So you don't like it couldn't have been like he.
No, I don't think so.
No,
He's very, he's very in his mind a lot.
Okay.
He's a thinker, and he gets,
So he's enjoying life. He's not.
No sort of like depression or anything.
No, it's not depression. It's more of a, he hates the things he does to me, and it makes him sad, and when he just reverts into his head, and I don't call that depression. I call that reflection, really.
Okay.
And,
yeah. Okay.
But he's his own man. Really.
No, but never has said something like, "You'll be better off without me," or
Nothing like that.
no sort of like.
No, he's really kind of fond of himself.
Okay.
Okay. And I had one other question.
So after, so when he originally went over to the hospital,
What's that?
when he originally went over to the hospital at Anna Jake's,
Yes.
was he still kind of like in and out? What was he
So
like?
you saw him when they took him out in the chair. I
Yeah,
was
he
taking
was thrown
care of
in
the
and-
dog so I could get my dress lace up.
He
Yeah.
was definitely out of it.
You mean
No, but-
taking him out of the house?
In a stair chair.
Yeah.
Did you go to the hospital? To Anna
I
Jake's?
don't go. I was there all day.
So, what was he like there? That's what I'm asking. Was he
Oh.
still just couldn't talk to him, nothing?
They had to, when I got there, he was combative still, not,
Okay.
what's the word, just,
Yeah, we see that all the
just
time.
struggling to get out of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
this,
no, that's
and his feet were sliding between the poles. I might even break his leg. And I said, "Can you give him something for this?" And finally, it was a short time later, and they sedated him, so
Okay.
he calmed. And that was the last. He really had no worry. Where's my dog?
That's what he was
So-
concerned about.
And, he's not with me or anybody. It's my dog.
And you've never seen him like how you saw him yesterday, without the use of like narcotics or drugs. He's never had like a medical episode like this.
No.
You
No.
mentioned during COVID 2 years ago,
Right,
he was similar to
Right.
this. So and that was with narcotics. There's never been a time that this has happened.
I got
So what do you think probably happened?
that was my other
Or do you not have any
Barbara
idea?
bring
I
back,
was assuming since it was like, very similar,
and is Barbara gonna be
that in 2019 when he left for a little while,
Yeah.
I'll be right back to,
Does he store any narcotics in the house? Like if he takes Percocet or like cocaine, does he have any of that in the house? Like where could he have gotten it? Because I'm just thinking if he woke up at 4
Yeah.
and then, fire and EMS are here like 8:30ish and he never left the house, so he must have had it if that's what it is. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball.
Yeah.
But based on everything you're saying, am I correct in interpreting probably where it's going? That's how at least I'm interpreting what you're saying.
I hear what you're saying.
So there had to have been some place in the house that he must have stored it, but you just don't know where that was. It would have been a private place. How long has he lived here with you? Because I was under the impression he didn't live here.
10 years.
So he's lived here for 10 years with you. So he doesn't just come over and visit.
No,
Oh,
this is his home.
I must have misheard. I thought that, but you're his girlfriend, right?
Who
Not his
did you
wife?
hear from?
When I was talking to my lieutenant who called before I came up, so it's kind of like a third party thing. They're like dispatching me.
Right.
They were like, "Yeah, I guess he was visiting his girlfriend." So I thought he was visiting you, so he didn't live here.
Yeah, I'm not the visitor girlfriend.
No, he was visiting you because I know this is your house, right? But it's both of your house. Okay. And he's been here for 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of the telephone game when Salisbury calls our duty office.
Oh, you should have heard the telephone game I heard this morning.
Yeah, that's why I like to
Now
come to
that
the
you're
stores
here,
and ask
like,
because
yell, it's okay. Stupid telephone.
no, I have a tremendous amount of empathy for everything that's going on with you guys right now, and I know it's uncomfortable. If I get I'm the guy on call today, so I get the phone call. Hey, this is what's going on. Go up
Real
there
quick,
and talk to
I
me
ain't the
because the example I just gave you. I take what someone tells me. I write my report. I would have been. He doesn't live here. He visits from time to time to see his girlfriends. That's what I thought. But now, I didn't know about the Percocets, things like that. So that's why I just come, talk, and then leave.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to cause any more stress on you at all. Obviously, we're going to keep monitoring him and his status in the hospital. I mean, they have great doctors in Boston. So
Today they said
You're
I
honestly
wasn't his
in-
proxy. I know everything about that man's. I got it all. I got the
No.
stack of it.
Is there anything in there that you think would be helpful for us or the doctor? Or
Yeah.
I am.
Oh, you are?
I am. But they said at the hospital today,
Huh.
well, how is he doing? Is he awake? Is he this? And she said he's okay. They think that his sister is a proxy, and I said no. She's just the next of kin. She's
Yeah,
not.
well,
yeah.
stuff like that. I think you have to fill out official paperwork.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, 'cause I know I'm the proxy for my father. He gave it to me. It's at my house in a folder, and I have it.
Yep.
So,
I can request his medical.
Do you
I
have
can
that
call the doctor.
paperwork then to get to the hospital? That obviously gives you authority as his husband.
It's my house is just a massive paper.
Okay.
So
Where are you moving to Florida?
We bought a house in Hernando.
What kind of farm
Outside
is
of
that?
Crystal River.
Okay. So you guys were both going to move down. Where
Yeah.
is your son going to stay here?
Yeah.
You're going to stay, but you guys are going to move to Florida. When are you going to do that? Well, planning before.
5 months ago.
You definitely don't think he was drinking?
No,
Definitely not.
No.
Doesn't even, you said he doesn't even drink.
He doesn't drink.
I've never seen
No.
him. I've never seen him act that way here. Never seen him drunk.
Okay.
Always
Okay.
normal, straight.
And definitely no, you know,
I've never known him.
I don't want to live anymore. I'm
here.
done. I'm sick of it.
Suicidal ideation.
Like fun.
He's happy. He's a good guy.
He's just
Just
he's
likes
a
to-
hard always.
So maybe like an accidental, he ingested something and
I thought it was
wasn't what he thought it was. You thought it was what?
I thought it was CO poisoning. I thought he was downstairs working all
Carbon
day.
monoxide,
Yeah.
Oh,
we were in the
In the
basement.
basement.
Okay.
There's gas down there.
Well, when did he do that?
That
All
day.
He was this
That morning?
Yeah.
shits from here.
Yeah, we were cleaning out the, yeah.
Oh, that would be good. All right, so from 4 when did he go down? In the basement or is there a garage?
It's
There's
like
a
a
little-
little back.
Is it like a crawl space or is
It's
it?
like it's,
Can we see that?
Yeah, can we see that?
Yeah,
I think it was, he was
Yeah.
around.
It might be
C2.
appropriate, yeah, if we can.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, the reason we're here is
We
to.
have the FD
Now.
checkout. I mean, that's what we thought.
yeah.
So she was.
Do you have like a smoke detector or a CO detector
Yes,
down
and
there?
I would tell you.
There was something down there and we were cleaning it out. I think I brought it upstairs actually. But I was telling Douglas yesterday, I want to get everybody, new
Yeah.
monitors.
So yeah.
And have
So
them
he's
come and-
in there all day long?
Not just put him in myself, but have the fire department.
And that was the day of. So
Day of.
when he woke up, he went down in the basement. He said it's kind of
Like I
the
said,
body.
he said I cleaned the back room out.
Yeah.
It looks nice down there. You put stuff
He
back
was
there.
Oh, the
dizzy.
back room
The back-
was,
that's what we call the back room. It's connected to my unit down
and
here.
it's kind of like a garage.
Kind of like a.
And where
crawl
would the
space.
CO2 be coming? Is there a car in there or something?
No, just like
Oh, okay.
the just
Like
Well, there was
the
a-
boiler stuff and.
boilers. Yeah.
Oh.
Can we just go see what's down there just to give us a frame of mind?
Yeah, just so I have an idea. of
Was the generator running?
Yeah.
Oh, was it running?
Yeah. Okay.
But he works hard, he's a bull. And he was dizzy a lot, he kept.
But just in general or yesterday?
When he was working, while we were here, well, he's been dizzy.
No, but I mean, like a week ago, would he be dizzy or was
Yeah,
it just this
yeah.
recent?
He gets dizzy easily. But more so when he's working.
That works. I guess he didn't.
Yeah, I know.
And he had some heart stuff too going on,
And
right?
he's got a
You
pacemaker.
said COPD earlier,
And
so he was just
COPD, I definitely,
so that'll probably make you dizzy, right? If breathing.
yeah.
But just breathing in this like dark air.
But it's, it's just shitty air down there.
Did he say there was like he had headaches or anything?
Yep.
When did he say he
He's
had?
had this all along, and he's already been to his doctor, and he's,
Yeah.
he goes through the same thing, and he says nobody does anything for him.
So that was my take on it.
Is that door
This goes
to you?
Yeah.
That's for your.
No.
Okay.
Can I see?
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
So
Yeah, I'll come out so you can come in.
And so there's like the furnace and.
yeah, there's all that stuff in there. And how long?
But so everything that was in the back of his truck was down here. So this was all full.
Yeah, pretty much. It's full of
Other than what the metal man did.
Yeah, yeah.
That's your one. That's the other entry.
Yeah.
You were
Yeah, exactly. We want that door.
we were just clearing out stuff.
What about this hose over this side?
A hose?
This like is that like a dryer vent?
Yeah.
That's your dryer. Your dryer's right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's their bathroom.
All right. Okay, thanks.
But I mean,
I don't want it in my head.
Yeah,
He's kind of in and out of there.
yeah. Well, he's in there a lot, but but then he'd just stop and he puts his head, like, oh, and I'm like, do you just see? I said, sit down and rest.
Would he do
He
that
works
here?
too hard.
Would you do that right here? He'd be like, you'd see him
Oh, he did it like 5 times this way. That was
standing here.
well, wherever he was.
Oh, where he was,
standing
just kind of like not.
Yeah,
Oh, geez. Okay. All
but I
right.
mean that's an ongoing issue.
Well, that is what happened. Like that needs to be rectified because nobody could be in there, especially with you.
It
On the
doesn't.
other side.
I mean, not just dizzy from here. I mean, doing any kind of work,
Oh,
he'll
that's
stop,
that.
and it's
Yeah.
like.
Okay.
And he definitely didn't leave during the night. You would have heard him. Like say you went out to meet somebody.
Not necessarily. He's a sneaky guy.
Does that motion thing? Would that have picked
It's
him
not.
up? Oh.
It's not set up.
Oh. Unfortunately, that's the story of my life.
I know.
I have like a
I can.
B&E or something, and everyone's like, "Oh, I got great cameras, but they're not working."
I had my ring camera. I didn't see anyone.
It would have done like a
Yeah,
motion.
It pings. It gets all the way to the truck.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So you can see like who's going up and down the walkway.
Good.
All right. then I don't have any more questions. And sorry for just
You don't have any answers either.
No,
not yet. But
that's what we're trying. That's what we're trying to get the answers. And like I said, we just try to get ahead of some things, just because it's a lot easier than trying to remember what happened a couple weeks ago, or a month ago, or even 6 months ago. You know, if something else comes up. What's the best phone number to reach you at, Judy?
978-360-0076.
Is that your cell phone? Okay. Okay. Do you have any questions for us?
Probably.
I
just want you.
Think in my car.
I'm already. I'm sick of that stuff. I couldn't even see them.
So I'm our only detective, so if you need me, just call the station and ask. My name's Detective Verney, but if you just say I need to speak to
Verney?
Verney, yeah, Verney. So if you just say, I need to talk to the detective, they'll get you to me.
Do you have cards?
I have one in my car.
One of my cruiser actually. No, I do have it. No, I swear to God, it's in my cruiser.
Right, that's like,
I literally gave my last one.
how many? I gave my last one out too, but I also keep forgetting to restock it. So.
The rest of the video is just giving out phone numbers and talking about your business cards. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
I think Mr. Camellia will stop for the
Okay.
morning break here.
All right.
Jurors, before I let you go for the break, you may have noticed occasionally what looked like a jump cut in the video. Just as with a document where I told you things may get blacked out or redacted because either I've made a determination that something's irrelevant or the parties by agreement have agreed that something's irrelevant. The same may occur in various videos that you may see during the course of this trial. Don't speculate on what's been removed from any video or document. It's been removed because it has no bearing on anything that you have to decide in this case. With that, we will take a 20-minute morning recess.
All right. Just leave your notebooks on the chair. Just on the floor.
Detective Verney, you may step down. Let me just see counsel at sidebar for just a moment before we recess.
Court is back in session. May be seated.
Those ones I think are the Beth Israel. 6 is the Anna Jakes, I think, right?
Yeah. I was gonna ask Bernie. A whole bunch of other questions. And then they go to the big meeting. Who do you call? But he
You
just
can
said
just come right in and out of the
he's
back
gonna
of the courtroom,
reject.
okay? Because that's gonna stay
We
open.
can't do anything in the transcript.
No,
Can't
no,
do
no.
the video.
Right, but we can ask him, because this
I
is
was
only
getting
a
cold in
premise
here.
understanding.
Right?
Yeah, why not? Whatever didn't get out of the other guy.
I wouldn't touch it. I
I'm just gonna borrow this so I can show the witness.
Yeah.
I really would. The jury doesn't know anything about it. We haven't had these witnesses. I think it's almost no cross, no cross.
Video in the computer? Or you have it? Okay,
I don't think,
we have it.
I don't think we can do anything with it by
Yeah,
rule.
I'll leave it in for now and then we can have it.
No, it wasn't. You're calling Eaton today?
That's what he asked me. I think because we were running fast on witnesses.
He was not on the list.
He wasn't.
No, so I don't know if we bought the transcripts with him. We made questions, and everything. I'll look.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's what he said to me. He's like, see if we can get another witness here. You want
Yeah, but he said he didn't care either.
You said you need a child to watch over the weekend. What's a crazy ass trial? Let me think. Like an archive trial or one that's up right now? I heard Suzanne's trial I tuned in yesterday and it was about damn ballistics, and so I couldn't stay straight. It was oh Lord, child, guys. Sorry. How do y'all do it? How do y'all be moms and TTs and stay out their business? How do you do it? Quick, go. Somebody tell me right now. How do y'all do it? How do we do it? Oh yeah, and if you watch that one, Laura, after you watch Hannah Payne's Child, she's currently. Are they still on? Are they still live? Let me see if they still live. They was live at the Georgia Supreme Court. For she's appealing for a new trial, basically saying that the jury instructions did not give her justification for either self-defense or citizens arrest. It wasn't done right.
Judge, could we see
We're
the
back on the
sidebar?
we're
Yes.
back on the record. If Mr. Norkunis wants to see the court.
Yeah, y'all, Tiffany's son and his girlfriend and some of the shit she do and say. Go home. Go home. I understand y'all want to be together. Y'all can be together apart. I had to come out of TT mode and let him know real quick that ain't nothing in the house convenient but ass. Everything else is taken care of, sir. You're doing this because you want to and you're driving us crazy. Shit. But you try not to be the listen here, little bitch. You know.
Mr.
I'm not. Dallas and Denver need to stay 6 and 7 because, baby. You're going to have to understand why I'm about to do this because that's why I just told him. I said, I got to see. He usually gets TT from me. He's my baby still. But today, he said, "Are you cussing?" I listen. Cause what? And see, I probably would be cool if it was just two young people who had a situation. But if the situation is about a damn dog that he put in the cage and she wasn't even home, and then the mama gonna say something to him about why is the dog in the cage, and then the mama go and call her and she calls screaming about her prized possessions, baby. Your prized possession in life is a dog. Fuck that dog and get the fuck out of my face. You F you and that dog. But why is the mama in it? See, I want to talk to her. This is about the second time I heard of her being in something. And she stayed away from me during that graduation. And I was very much, but it's very, very much let me not. I'm all on the internet. It's very much a Velcro situation. And it's like, sir, I understand you want in-house, but baby, time to be grown. And that's why I made the call. So they said, did Bob get you activated? Because sometimes you gotta let people quickly know that some of the things that are afforded to them or benefited to them in life are simply because of who they know and not what they know. Because obviously you don't know a damn thing when you got 3 other grown people in that house and don't nobody know how to get you a decent resume and you walking around with this mess that look like Dallas did it backwards and blindfolded. You got that type of assistance because of who you're with, not because of who you are. You know, sometimes you got to remind people to simmer down, pipe down. Because what? Baby. the other side too. Mm. Hmm. He's 19. He's grown, I know, but he's still my baby. And I'm just like, you lucky it's me because his mama over there trying not to. Hannah's going for ineffective counsel. She trying to play that it wasn't effectively argued the self-defense or justification for the citizen. But citizen's arrest wasn't a thing. Wasn't removed from the law.
Do we have our
Yes.
A detective?
When
she was claiming
Detective Ernie?
arrest, there was no such thing.
Matt, the jurors can be lined up and come right in. Thank you.
How long was that one? I might have to watch that on the way to the damn pool.
I'm not done.
You can resume the stand, Detective.
With,
Yeah.
yes, okay.
Talk right in your name best you can.
I hear sneezing. Somebody's coming. Why did it say 2 days ago? It said it was live earlier. Maybe I'm tripping. It's only 48 minutes.
And my master got that, but I got one for now.
The happily angry lawyer. Ooh, what's going on with Moncton? Oh, because Fox 5 is live. Okay.
Good to go,
But she didn't get it on until 11.
Come on.
She's a PP.
Woo, look at that head. Woo, bless you. Hi, little one. I heard you sneezing.
Well, Shin was kind of like that too.
Eyes running. Oh, allergies. You want medicine?
No.
No.
All right, pretty good.
What was that?
I think. Denver. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Nasty. Dallas, you too?
Yes.
Jesus. Good morning. How are you? A true boy.
Be seated.
You gonna sign the card for Kalia's birthday?
Yeah.
You are? Mm-hmm. Okay. We're gonna
Detective, when we broke, we had just finished watching the body cam of the
yeah, happy birthday.
interview that you and Trooper Williams did on November 12th, 2022. Yes?
Great.
All right.
Okay.
Aside from what I had mentioned when I stopped the video, that there was some discussion about phone numbers and business cards. Did you have any more conversation about the case, about what had happened to Mr. Fowler with Ms. Church that day?
No.
Okay. Did she ever mention to you having taken any videos of him prior to the arrival of the emergency medical personnel on the day before, November 11, 2022?
No, sir.
Would that have been information that was helpful to the investigation?
Yes.
Let me say good morning, Dallas and Denver.
Good morning. Pussy.
You want to see? Oh, go cover your mouth, Jesus.
And you were present for a second interview of Ms. Church that happened on the 14th of November, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you understand from speaking to me that we're going to put that evidence in through Trooper Williams later on in the trial?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. That's it. Thank you.
Mr. Nokunis.
Thank you, Judge. Detective, it's fair to say that when you were there, you were directing the interview with Ms. Church about the condition of Mr. Fowler and what she could shed on the condition of Mr. Fowler, right?
Correct.
Over there. See?
You were giving her a particular timeline. And in terms of her responses and the last questions by the district attorney, did she show you, talk to you about any videos? She appeared to be
Things, don't bring your things in
very
here.
emotional when you were talking to her that day, right?
Yeah, she had a lot of ups and downs.
Right. Several times she appeared as if she was going to cry. And
Yes.
therefore, in terms of you were redirecting her at different times, bringing her back to the subject matter that you wanted, right?
Hopefully.
She was talking about, her relationship with Mr. Fowler, and she was expanding upon that relationship, and you were trying to focus on November 11th, 2022, right?
Well, we wanted to learn as much as we could about what happened. So
Now, following that meeting with Ms. Church, and that lasted, a period, you were there at that site probably, an hour?
between a half an hour to an hour.
And it started at 3, so you out of there around 4?
I believe so. No, I think it started around 4 o'clock.
And at some point in time, you had already set up a subsequent meeting to take place at Mr. Eaton's house, right?
That evolved as the day went on.
All right.
That evolved as the day went on. This was the first appointment we had made. And
Did you go to the meeting at the Eaton house?
yes,
Okay. And that was around 5 o'clock, November 12th, right?
it was later in the day. I'm not sure exactly what time.
Okay. And how had you selected the people to come to that meeting?
We had spoken with the family, specifically Leroy Fowler III.
You lean a little bit into that mic.
Yes, sir. Sorry. So we were speaking with Leroy Fowler III, and we were just asking, anybody who had any information they wanted to share with us, we were willing to speak to.
Well, you brought Tammy, right? Did she come to that meeting?
Tammy was there, yes.
Yeah. William Eaton, right?
Billy, yeah, Williamine, yes.
Leroy Fowler III, right?
Correct.
And had you and Lieutenant Sullivan sat down and said, who should we bring to this meeting?
I didn't think.
Judge, I think there might be some confusion. I don't know who Lieutenant Sullivan is.
Lieutenant Sullivan, Williams, Trooper Williams, or someone else.
Trooper Williams. I'm sorry.
Trooper Williams.
It elevated him, Judge. I'm sorry.
And you gave him a different last name too, I think.
So
That's it all the way up.
somebody had to select the people to come, right? You just didn't they didn't randomly come there. Somebody had to call them, said, come to this location at this time, right?
Well, the whole family was pretty much together. When we had spoken with Leroy, the family was all in communication with each other, and obviously they were concerned about Leroy and his health. This is a serious matter for the family.
No reason to be concerned, but to get them at one location at one time, that just didn't randomly happen. Somebody had to call them and say, hey, come to this location for this time. I want to talk to you about this, right?
Yeah, we coordinated through the family. I'm not
sorry,
sure
could you
exactly.
lean into that?
I'm not exactly sure what you're asking. So between us and the family, we all decided that was the best location.
Okay. So, and then how did you know to go to William Eaton's house?
We were invited there.
You were invited to come. So the family set up the meeting. They wanted to talk to you.
So ideally, any interview we would like to happen at the police station. So in coordinating it with
I believe we did 4 interviews that night. It made the most sense to meet them there. It was the easiest.
And to your knowledge, did the folks you were going to meet with and talk to know what the substance of what the issue was that you were going to talk to them about?
Sir, they didn't concoct the story, whether it was a running joke or whatever. They didn't concoct it.
So the family reached out to us in the
was a
morning.
thing.
Leroy Fowler III reached out to us in the morning, concerned about
You ain't call this man
the
Peter.
condition of his father. And they all wished to speak with us. We wanted to learn as much information as we could about Leroy himself, about what might have happened. We were just as curious and confused as anybody else.
Is it dry in there or something? Get some water.
I don't have any further questions, Judge. Thank you.
Any follow-up on that, Mr. Camilio?
Now I'm yawning.
We were
Jeez.
asked a couple questions at the beginning of the cross about Miss Church's demeanor during that interview. You remember those questions?
Yes, sir.
When was it that Miss Church got most upset during that interview?
Most upset would be when we referenced the other girlfriend, or she said, "I'm not the other girlfriend."
Anything further, Mr. Norkunis?
No other questions, Judge.
Thank you very much, Detective. You may step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth would call Angela Scheidegger, please.
Who?
I'm just going to ask you to stand behind the blue line and face the clock.
If you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the cause now in hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. You may be seated.
What's your step?
I don't know if there's super chats, but I think those. It wasn't cheers. It was.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Good afternoon. Introduce yourself to the members of the jury, telling them your first and last name, and then spelling your last name.
Sure. I'm Angela Scheidegger, and I'm a physician assistant in the emergency room. Last name is Scheidegger.
What hospital do you work in? What emergency room?
I work primarily not Melrose Wakefield, but also at Anna Jake's Hospital.
How long have you worked at Anna Jake's?
About 5 years as a PA.
And what is a PA?
A physician assistant, so I'm one of the providers in the emergency room.
And as a provider in the emergency room, can you describe very briefly to the jury what your duties and responsibilities are as a provider in the emergency room?
So we independently see patients that come into the emergency room, and then we discuss with our attendings depending on the case, but we order tests, we perform certain procedures, we interpret images along with radiology and talk to specialists and whatnot.
When you say the attending, who is that?
The primary doctor that's on with me in the emergency room.
So there'd be an emergency room doctor, a physician's assistant, and then potentially nurses who are assisting you?
Exactly, and nurse practitioners, which have the same role as my job.
In the emergency room at Anna Jake's, how does a physician's assistant differ from a nurse in terms of your responsibilities and duties?
Sure. I place the orders typically, and then nursing would draw blood or help care for the patient in other ways, give vital signs, that type of stuff. They're, I think, more involved with being at the bedside with the patient.
And as a physician's assistant, are you more involved if, as you indicated, the orders, but also looking at the results of certain tests that you ordered to make determinations of how to treat a patient?
Yes.
Very briefly, what is your educational background?
Sure. So I went to PA School Franklin Pierce and graduated in 2021. And I have worked in the emergency room ever since then. I worked previously in the emergency room as a technician prior to PA school.
Prior to PA school, you were a technician. What were your duties and responsibilities in the emergency room as a technician?
Sure. Vitals, I did EKGs, I transported patients to tests, helped providers if they needed help with certain procedures.
Excuse me. Can you kind of take us through when a patient comes into the emergency room at Anna Jake's via ambulance, what happens?
It depends. So if they are, if there's a room available and they're a critical patient, they go right into a room. Nurses will be at the bedside. They'll triage them, talk with the EMS, and then the patient if they're able to provide information. And then one of the providers goes in to evaluate the patient.
And I want to specifically turn your attention to November 11th of 2022. Were you working in the Anna Jake's emergency room that morning?
Yes.
Do you remember what shift you were assigned, what your hours were?
Yeah, I was working at 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. that day.
At some point, did you have an occasion to be the physician's assistant for a patient by the name of Leroy Fowler?
Yes.
And was he a patient at Anna Jake's when you came in at 9 a.m.?
I don't remember if he was there before I got there, but I saw him pretty quickly after I got to work. So.
And what observations did you make of Mr. Fowler when you got to work around 9 a.m. that morning?
So he came in and he was altered. He was not really able to provide any information. He was thrashing around in the stretcher and not making any, valuable sentences or words that made sense to kind of tease out what was going on at that point.
Were you asking him questions and there was some type of response, but not something that was in response to your actual question?
Yeah, correct. I don't remember him ever giving me like a specific word that I thought was valuable in what I was asking him.
When you say altered, could you describe to the jury what you mean by altered?
Sure. He was basically incoherent. He, again, was not able to provide information or communicate like a normal person would. He wasn't following commands, was thrashing around in the stretcher.
Did you make observations of his eyes at any point?
Yes. So he had equal pupillary response, but it was slightly slower than usual.
What does that mean?
I believe it can be from a lot of things. So you can see it with certain medications. You can see it with head injuries. There's many different things. Light can affect it in general.
Is it fair to say when you first got there, because he was unable to appropriately or in any way answer your questions, you didn't have any information as to what had caused him to come to the emergency room?
Right. When I first saw him, I had really nothing except that he was altered. And I believe we didn't have like good records on him for review. So I had very limited information in terms of past medical history, medications he takes, stuff like that.
When someone comes into the emergency room altered and provide that type of information to you, what is the procedure? What did you order to happen?
Yeah. So altered mental status is very common in the emergency room, and some of the stuff is pretty standardized, but it also varies based off how severe their symptoms are. But we, check labs for abnormalities, look at glucose levels, look for infection, look for signs of trauma. There's a lot of different things that can cause altered mental status that we kind of gauge out.
Based on the observations that you are making of Mr. Fowler upon your immediate interaction with him around 9 a.m. that morning, what was your plan?
Yeah, so he came in and was very altered. His vital signs, I believe, were pretty normal, but I knew that he was going to be a critical patient. So I pretty quickly spoke with the doctor that I was working with that day and was trying to figure out if we had ICU beds available for the patient. And we didn't. And that was just an assumption based off how he presented that he would need a higher level of care. So I knew pretty early on that he probably was going to have to be transferred to another hospital.
And when you said needed a higher level of care, is that why you deemed him critical?
Yeah.
And is that common if Anna Jake's doesn't have an ICU bed available, that you would make arrangements with another hospital to get an ICU bed?
Yep.
specifically going back to those initial observations of him, at some point, did someone come into the emergency room with Mr. Fowler?
Yes.
And was it a male or a female?
Female.
Was she there when you got there, or did she arrive shortly thereafter?
I think she came shortly after.
Was she providing you information as to what had happened to Mr. Fowler prior to him coming to the hospital?
Yes.
And what, to your memory, did she tell you?
So she identified herself as his girlfriend, and she said that the day prior he was acting normal, and that they were doing yard work, I believe. And then overnight, it sounds like she, I think, got woken up in the middle of the night by him, and she said that he had fallen multiple times. And then around 6:30 in the morning, I believe she had noticed that he was much more altered.
What was her demeanor as you were speaking to her?
She was pretty calm, and right by the bedside next to the patient, she was trying to be very helpful, I felt like, and answered the questions that I asked her.
Is it fair to say that any observations that you made of Mr. Fowler during your interaction with him, as well as any treatment that was given or requested, is documented in medical records that are kept by the hospital?
It should be, yep.
In this case, you've had an opportunity to review those medical records, correct?
Yes.
And in those records, did you actually document the conversation that you had with the female identifying herself as Mr. Fowler's girlfriend?
Yes.
With the court's permission, I'm going to show a portion of what's previously been marked as Exhibit 6.
You may.
Just one moment.
Oh, this is not going to be helpful. If I can.
What around the courtroom?
Can you see that on the screen, or is it really blurry?
Quit moving it.
Okay, let's see.
Is that the whole?
Ms. Scheidegger, in the history of present illness,
You don't
did you
even have it all
specifically
on there.
document the conversation that you had with the
Okay, 55-year-old male with past medical history of hypercholesterolemia. What? Like a man's shoes in both feet. What's wrong with his feet? Implanted defibrillator or pacemaker. Last replaced 2016 for 2 bad heart valves. Presents with his girlfriend for altered mental status. She saw him this morning at 6:30. Is that what she said? I thought she said 4. Patient arrives thrashing around, eyes closed, grunting and not answering my questions. I can't see the end. His girlfriend states she has seen him like this maybe in the past. In 2019, after he used drugs, she does not know what he took then. States that he does, there's an end, maybe not drink alcohol. Maybe she's going to read it. But yesterday he was completely normal. They were doing a bunch of something work together. Woke her up from her sleep at 3:30, stating he had fallen 3 times. I thought she said 4:30. She didn't think he was particularly altered at the time. That this morning at 6:30 a.m. she found him. And he's been extremely altered since. Tried to bring him to bed, but states he was dead weight and fell out of the bed. Has not vomited. Complains of abdominal pain to girlfriend.
the girlfriend of Mr. Fowler?
Yes.
And did you indicate, she states that yesterday he was behaving completely normally and they were doing a bunch of yard work together. He woke her up from sleep at 3:30, stating that he had fallen 3 times and she did not think that he was particularly altered at that time. This morning at 6:30, she found him and he has been extremely altered since. She tried to bring him to bed, but states he was dead weight and then fell out of the bed.
Yes.
Regarding no recent illnesses, he has not vomited. He has complained of abdominal pain to his girlfriend prior to arrival. Are all of those things that were provided by the girlfriend while she was in the emergency room with him?
Yes.
Did she also indicate that he may have taken a Percocet last night, but she is not sure?
Yes.
As part of the labs that you had ordered initially, was testing for narcotics part of that?
Yes.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. And what narcotics specifically are you testing for?
I think there's a list. There's a list of the ones that we tested for. There's a lot, but there's opiates, and then we have fentanyl, and there's other types of drugs that we test for immediately in the toxicology screen.
And in your review of the results of the blood test that was taken from Mr. Fowler on that day for any narcotics, did you see any indication that he was positive for Percocets?
No.
I'm going to show you another portion of Exhibit 6 with the court's permission. It's page 4 of the summary, including the lab results. And if you could just kind of take us through what is depicted in this page.
Sure.
Judge, I would object. I think that speaks for itself.
Pursuant to our conversation at sidebar, I will allow both counsel, if they wish, to highlight a few selected portions of the medical records. Jurors, you need to understand that you'll have the entire medical records in front of you, but if counsel wish to draw your attention with a witness on the stand to a particular portion, I'm going to permit them to do that. Unless the witness is someone like the present witness who may have some particular expertise and is construing the record, you can read the records as well as anybody else. I will simply allow them to be highlighted for you right now. Go ahead, Ms. Strasing.
Could you just kind of take us through what this is?
Sure. So this is the urine toxicology screen that we do. And the thing that came back positive was cocaine, but oxycodone, which is one of the active ingredients in the Percocet, is negative addition, and the opiates are negative as well in there. And I think somewhere there's a specific fentanyl test. I believe it's maybe on another page, but that's also negative.
So there was no indication in, I believe you said it was a urine test, not a blood test. I apologize, that Mr. Fowler was positive for Percocets.
Correct.
In reviewing the, actually, before I get into that, in the medical record, did you also document observations that you made of him during your interactions with him?
Yes.
I'm going to show you page 2 of 12 in Exhibit 6. You indicated that the vital signs were fairly normal?
Yep.
And in the general, thrashing around, eyes closed, grunting, and not answering any questions. Are those the observations of you that you made of him upon going into the emergency room?
Yes.
Then you went on to talk about his skin, his head, his eyes, specifically bolded is pupils with decreased response to light and accommodation bilaterally, pupils round. What does that mean?
So like I said, that can happen with certain medications that people are prescribed or take. It can happen with injuries, brain injuries, and your eyes respond to light in general. So if the room's super bright or dark, it can change that.
And the other portion that was bolded is under neuro, alert, altered, does not answer any questions, uncooperative. Why is that under the neuro section of that assessment?
Because altered mental status and assessing if someone's alert and oriented is part of a neurologic assessment. So that's where we would document that.
So based on what you were seeing and what you were observing in his pupils, did you order a CAT scan?
Yes.
Why did you order a CAT scan?
For, I guess, multiple reasons, but the girlfriend had said that he had fallen, and those seemed like they were unwitnessed falls, and he was altered. So to look for a head bleed, to make sure the vessels in the brain were patent, other things would be like a mass or something that's causing altered mental status.
And at some point, did you receive the results of the CAT scan that you ordered?
Yeah. And
what were the results of the CAT scan?
it was negative. There was no acute findings.
And at some point, did you also order a lumbar puncture to be done?
Yeah.
What is a lumbar puncture?
Sure. It's when you put a needle in the back to obtain cerebral spinal fluid to look for infection. You can also sometimes measure the pressure in the brain that can cause altered mental status if it's high. So that's why we were looking for other causes of the confusion.
And what were the results of the testing of the, what did you say, the cerebral fluid?
Yeah, so I attempted, and the doctor I was working with also attempted, and we were unable to get it. It was hard with him in particular because he was not a cooperative patient, and it can be dangerous, to put a needle in the spine if they're thrashing around. So we did attempt, but we didn't get it. I don't know if it was obtained at another hospital.
At some point after the blood was drawn, obviously we've talked about the results of the cocaine and the Percocets. Were other lab results coming in for your review, as well as were you ordering additional labs throughout the time that Mr. Fowler was at Anna Jake's?
Yes.
And were any of the lab results coming back abnormal?
Yeah. I don't remember if his potassium was initially abnormal, but some of his electrolytes are abnormal, including the potassium, I believe the calcium as well. And then he had other signs that was pointing towards a metabolic issue. So we added a venous blood gas to look for at other causes.
What does all of that mean? So all of those things are abnormal. What was abnormal about the potassium?
So his potassium was high, which we can see pretty frequently. It doesn't necessarily point towards one thing, but when his bicarbonate and he had an anion gap on his CMP, his comprehensive metabolic panel, which prompted us to look at his pH. And we determined that he was in a metabolic acidosis.
What is metabolic acidosis?
It's when you have your acid levels are high in the blood, and it can be caused by a lot of things. It happens when there's an imbalance in the blood.
And what kind of things cause an imbalance in the blood?
Sure. You can get it from infection, you can get it from dehydration, you can get it from certain medications. Severe diabetes can cause it if you're having very high glucose levels. Kidney disease, there's a lot of different causes for it.
I think you also mentioned anion gap.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
So that's part of your blood. You have certain electrolytes, specifically what they look at, what that is, sodium chloride and bicarbonate, I believe, and it's just a measured portion, but difference between them, and it can help to identify different causes of a metabolic acidosis.
And I'm going to show you a portion again of Exhibit 6, this time what's page 6 of 12. And it talks about the anion gap being 27. Is that correct? You can see that?
Yep.
And then the calcium is highlighted or bolded, I guess. What did you observe about the calcium?
So the calcium was abnormal as well. I didn't look too much towards that in regards to his symptoms. But with the anion gap, and then when you look further down at the VBG with the pH, and those are the things that we were kind of looking at.
So VPG with the pH, what is that?
That's the part of the component of a metabolic acidosis where the acid level is low in the blood.
And is it fair to say that while you're waiting to see if you can get Mr. Fowler to another hospital, to an ICU, you're doing all these tests to try to figure out what's going on?
Yeah.
And are you able at any point while Mr. Fowler was at Anna Jake's to get a definitive diagnosis as to what was causing all of these symptoms that you testified to observing and the various blood work that was coming back?
No, we couldn't come up with a definitive diagnosis before he was transferred.
Does your hospital, or I guess did your hospital in November of 2022 test Mr. Fowler to see if ethylene glycol was present in any of the blood that was drawn during his stay there?
So I don't believe I don't think that was tested when he was there that day because he was transferred, but it was something that they tested from the blood at the hospital, I believe. I don't know if it was ordered when I saw him.
Would the ethylene glycol been able to be tested in the lab at Anna Jake's, or would it have been sent out?
Oh, yeah, it would have been sent out. It's not a test that we would have got back that day, probably not for several days.
So is it fair to say that there's some testing that the lab at Anna Jake's can't do there? It needs to be sent out to external labs for a specific type of testing?
Yep.
And is ethylene glycol one of those things?
Yes.
At some point did you have to give Mr. to calm him down?
Yes.
What did you give him?
I believe I would have you pull up the chart, but I think we might have given him Ativan. We gave him common medications that we give to sedate patients.
And any medication that you gave to him at Anna Jake's would be contained within the medical records. Is that correct? Additionally, at some point was a decision made that Mr. Fowler had to be intubated.
Yes.
And why did you make that decision?
With the doctor I was working with, yes.
And why was it your belief that Mr. Fowler had to be intubated?
So because we were having trouble transferring him, he was in the emergency room for a while at our facility. And with the progression of this metabolic acidosis, so we repeated labs and his pH had dropped more and he continued to be altered. And because of that, we did it to protect him and prevent anything from worsening.
As your pH is dropping, what is happening to your body during that time?
Sure. So your body is trying to compensate in multiple ways. One of the ways you can see this is with breathing. So he had kind of this irregular increased work of breathing that we can sometimes see when people have a very low pH. And it's the body's way to try and fix the acidity of the blood. But that indicates that it's more severe, which is why he was intubated.
And I guess I should ask you this. I'm sure we all have a common understanding, but what does it mean to be intubated?
Sure. It's when you are helping the patient breathe. So you put a tube down to protect their airway and to allow them to breathe properly.
At some point, was Mr. Fowler transferred from Anna Jake's to another hospital?
Yes.
Are you aware of which hospital he was transferred to?
Yep. He went to Mount Auburn.
Did you stay as the PA for Mr. Fowler during that entire time that you were in the emergency room as he was before being transferred to Mount Auburn?
Yes.
At any point, did the girlfriend that was with him ever show you any videos depicting to you what had happened to Mr. Fowler prior to him being taken to the emergency room?
No.
Did she indicate to you that she had videos if you wanted to see what was happening prior to his arrival there?
No.
Would that have been documented?
Yes.
If I may have one moment, Your Honor.
Yes, you may.
That's the crazy part. Why wouldn't you tell them this is how he was acting?
Ultimately,
Not saying it means anything, just saying.
Did you ever?
You have videos to show how he's acting, but instead you referred to how he was in 2019 on drugs.
Observing before he could get to the ICU bed?
Yes.
I have no further questions.
Mr. Norkunis.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
Now, it's fair to say that this took place back on November 11th of 2022.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay. And for the record, you have to give me a positive or negative answer. And you've had a few other patients since then till the present time, right?
Yes.
And you saw this gentleman along with what you were seeing. It's a hospital, so you had more than one patient that night, right?
Correct.
And you were running between the patients, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Right. And in terms of coming in here today, you have to go out and read a whole bunch of stuff or you wouldn't remember to think about this, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you gave a statement to the police at some point in time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Back in February of 2023, right?
Yeah.
And you had an opportunity to read that before you came in today, right?
Yes.
To try and refresh your memory, right?
Yeah.
And did the government present you with a copy of the medical records and ask you to review those as well?
Yes.
Now, one issue here was that it appeared that Mr. Fowler's condition was deteriorating while he was at your hospital, right?
Yep.
And he came into your hospital sometime around 9 a.m.
Yes,
And he left sometime around 8 p.m.,
I believe so.
somewhere around. So he was there like 12 hours, right?
Yeah,
Approximately.
yeah,
And during those 12 hours, you know, reasonable as a medical professional that he was not improving, right?
correct,
He was deteriorating, right?
correct.
And at some point in time, the care that you and Jake's Hospital could give to him was kind of stopped, right? You couldn't do anything more for him.
Correct, which is why we transferred him.
Right. And that was probably after he'd been there 3 hours, maybe?
What do you mean?
Well, he was there
Ooh-wee.
3 hours. And then you're doing the blood work, you're doing the CAT scan. You were progressing him as rapidly as you could through the process of
Yeah.
the hospital, correct?
Sure, yep.
And that probably took 3 to 4 hours.
Probably around that. I mean, you can see what time CAT scans came back and lab work came back in the record, but yes.
Okay. And and the lady that came in, you indicated when you were talking to the police that she was very helpful, right?
She was willing to provide information, yep.
Right. She was.
It's going to come down to where this antifreeze was
to the gentleman that was the patient, right?
Yep.
And she
in
stayed with
proximity
him
to
the time he was
Judy.
there, right?
I don't remember if she was there the whole time, but she was there.
All right. Again, it's hard to remember.
Yeah.
4 years ago, one person, one
Yeah.
room, one patient, right? And she appeared to be sympathetic to him, right?
Yes.
Now,
Close my office door.
you were asked, were you shown any videos of Mr. Fowler, correct? Just a few minutes ago?
Yep.
And if you saw the videos and the person was standing, falling, or crawling, and you saw no blood and you saw no marks, what type of medical significance could that possibly have to you?
People can have internal bleeding that can cause them to be altered without seeing blood, but I didn't see a video.
Right. They would, you can't, unless there's an exterior mark, unless there's bleeding, unless there's something that takes place, it's irrelevant, right?
I mean, I don't know that it's
Oh, irrelevant.
Helpful to see how he was progressing, but I didn't see that, so I can't comment on it.
Now,
And there were marks,
you get
and he
medical
was bleeding.
history from the lady that came in, right?
Yeah.
Were you able to get his full medical history from his local doctor or that was online?
No.
And when they did the toxology test, they showed cocaine was present, right?
Correct.
And it doesn't give you a duration or an amount, right? In other
Correct.
words. And did you, and in terms of either opiates or any of the other narcotics, that was the only one that was present, right? Cocaine.
For the urine toxicology screen that we got, the only thing that was positive was cocaine, yes.
Okay.
Alcohol was negative also, but that was a blood test.
Right. Now, did you think that the ingestion of cocaine was causing any of his problems?
No.
Why?
His heart rate was normal. Typically, you don't get that level of altered mental status with a cocaine overdose. But seeing it, you can always think, you know, if I see anything positive on a toxicology test, it raises concern and makes us think about it.
He had a pacemaker, right?
Correct.
And what does cocaine do? It increases your heart rate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was out here on some YOLO-ish.
Was that adverse?
Well, his initial EKG, which I document in the chart, I don't think he was in a paced rhythm when he first came in, which sometimes people can have pacemakers that only go on with certain triggers. So all I can say is his heart rate was normal when he got there.
Now,
Nothing major.
and you're not a toxicologist, right?
No.
Now,
We found out the town only has one detective.
You said when you first observed this gentleman, you at that point in time don't know how long he had been there, correct?
In the emergency room?
Right.
Correct. I mean, in the chart, it says, I think that he got there just before 8 or just before 9. So, and I got to work right at 9. So I don't think he had been there that long.
Well, had there been a nurse attending to him prior to your arrival?
Yep.
Okay. And do you know that has she been with him like half an hour or something prior to your arrival?
I don't know. You would have to look in the chart for timing.
But that, and that was Megan Berry?
Correct.
So she would have made the initial observations of him when he came into the hospital.
Yes.
And if there was any conversation with him, it would have taken place with her, potentially.
Potentially, yeah. It depends on who triage is and who else is in the room. Sometimes there's more people.
And again, you did the CAT scan because the girlfriend, and she identified herself as that, right?
Correct.
And she had told you that he had fallen and banged his head, and that's why you did the CAT scan, right?
I don't remember if she told me he banged his head, but she said he had fallen and he came in altered. And she had also mentioned he had abdominal pain, so we ended up getting imaging of his chest, abdomen, pelvis to look for other injuries or causes.
He had fallen several times, she told you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you did an initial assessment of his head. There was no bleeding, there was no swelling, there was no bruising, right?
Correct.
So therefore, and that context, it did not appear to have been a head injury, right?
So I've seen head injuries without external signs of trauma, but there was no obvious bruising or signs of trauma when he came in.
Well, it's a little bit, anything in life is possible, right? But generally, from your observations, it does not appear to have.
What? Nancy? Nancy's still gone. She around her daughter's house.
And you never had a definitive diagnosis. I think the term was you did not have a specific diagnosis by the time he left 12 hours later.
Correct.
May I have a moment, Judge?
Yes, you may.
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Ms. Strasnick,
Just very briefly, if I could approach with Exhibit 6, since
you may.
it was not very clear. You had indicated that, I'm going to show you the medical records. You had indicated that in the records there is a list of the times in which Mr. Fowler was interacted with throughout the course of his stay there. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And is that essentially called the event history?
Yes.
Does it indicate what time he was received from the hospital, by the hospital, or came in, I guess?
Yes.
And what time was that?
8:54 a.m.
Does it document what time he was put into a room within the emergency room once he was received?
Yes.
And what time was that?
8:56.
And at some point thereafter, was he registered?
Yes.
What does that mean?
The people in registration get his information. In his case, I'm assuming they got his driver's license because he wasn't answering questions, but to get them registered in the computer.
And what time was that?
8:59.
So from the time he was received, he was registered within 5 minutes. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Oh, they were
And then
moving and
what happened
grooving.
next?
He was triaged, which
What-
is
Perfect. Yep, you read my mind. Go ahead.
typically by one of the nurses in the emergency room, and that's to get information, do the initial vitals, the initial assessment of the patient.
And what time was that initial triage?
9:01.
And is that when blood would have been initially drawn as well by the triaging
Typically,
nurse?
yes. But
They
not
was
always.
moving, wasn't they?
And then it says, the next says seen by provider at 9.
Correct.
And would that have been you?
Yes.
So he is received by the hospital at 8:54. All of those things we just discussed happened. And
Real quick, the antifreeze, according to the openings, it was actually, they're referring to it as antifreeze, but it's the ethylene glycol or the main ingredient in antifreeze and De-Icer. They said that they found the bottle in the house of the De-Icer, and then the color in the bottle of the one PowerAde bottle that stood out from the many PowerAde bottles because it had the bright orange liquid in it was the same color as the bright orange De-Icer, which the De-Icer that people use to get the ice off of their cars or help melt the ice on their cars has the same main ingredient as antifreeze. So we're just waiting for them to, I guess, put that in her hands. But they did find the De-Icer in the compound in the bottom of the PowerAde bottle, in which this was a fruit punch PowerAde bottle, so it shouldn't have been orange.
By 9/11, you're seeing him and making the observations that we just discussed.
Yes.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Narkunis, anything further?
I don't have any further questions.
Ms. Schreier, thank you very much. You may step down.
Thank you.
William Eaton.
Uh-oh. All the interviews went down at Willie's house.
Okay. All right. Apparently he stepped out for a second. So Trooper Dave Strong, or excuse me, Sergeant Dave Strong.
I'm gonna ask you to stand behind this blue line, please.
Sir, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the cause now and hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. You may be seated.
All right, now, Mr. Eaton, where the hell you take your ass up to?
Good afternoon, sir. In a nice loud voice, could you introduce yourself to the jury and spell your last name for the record, please?
Yes, good afternoon. My name is David Strong, Strong. I'm a sergeant with the Mass State Police.
And how long have you been employed by the Massachusetts State Police, sir?
14 years.
All right. And what is your current assignment?
I'm currently assigned to the State Police Detective Unit.
In Essex County?
Yes.
Okay. And how long have you been a member of the State Police Detective Unit, sir?
I began in 2018.
Okay. So 8 years or so?
Yes.
Okay. As a sergeant with the detective unit, sir, what are your duties and responsibilities?
We investigate deaths in Essex County, homicides, unattended deaths, suspicious deaths, and we also do drug offenses and narcotics.
Okay. And so for the last 8 years, you have been you've been both the investigator and supervisor on these types of cases and investigations. Is that fair?
Yes, I was promoted in January of 2025 to sergeant.
Okay. And so I want to take you back, sir, to November 14th of 2022. Were you working on that day?
Yes.
Okay. And prior to November 14th, 2022, had you been at all involved in an investigation into a death involving an individual named Leroy Fowler?
I had not.
Okay. And on that day, the 14th, did one of the, so you were still a trooper at that point in time, fair?
Yes.
Okay. And one of your supervisors, request, but really order, you to participate in something that was going to be going on in that particular investigation.
Yes.
Okay. And what was that that you were asked to participate in?
It was a search warrant.
Okay. And that was a search warrant that was going to be executed at 108 Central Ave in Salisbury. Is that correct? Now, did you and a couple of other state troopers go to that location in order to conduct the search?
We did.
Okay. And the appearance of 108 Central Ave was documented with some photographs during the course of the execution of the search warrant, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And you had a chance to look at a number of those photographs yesterday, fair to say?
I did.
Now, when you first entered the unit at 108 Central Ave, what were your first observations as you entered?
We entered through the back door, back of the house. It was dirty. It was cluttered. There was like a back porch area, which I believe a couch or maybe a futon. As we entered the residence, it was a kitchen, a bedroom, and a bathroom.
And I say, are they yard selling beef
What
orders?
does the kitchen look like?
It was dirty. It was cluttered. Miscellaneous items scattered throughout the house.
Okay. Same with the bedroom and the bathroom.
Yes.
Where did you start your search, sir?
The kitchen.
Okay. And as you were searching the kitchen, sir, did you notice anything? Did anything catch your attention in particular at that point in time?
Yes. Several empty bottles. I located a bottle of De-Icer behind the kitchen island. It was orange.
All right. So I should have been.
All right. What does that do for you?
We got a little confused with our witness order here. So you mentioned that you
The damn De-Icer was in the kitchen.
found a PowerAde bottle.
No, I found a bottle of De-Icer.
De-Icer, I'm sorry. And where did you see this De-Icer at first when you first saw it?
It was in the kitchen. In the kitchen, there was an island, and so it's behind the island.
Okay.
Jesus. I'm still trying to figure out how you get it behind the island. It's the island.
So I'm going to hand you two photographs. May I approach you?
Yes, you may.
Hand you two photographs and just ask you to take a quick look at those and let me know if you recognize those two. What's depicted in those two photographs?
Yes, that's going to be the De-Icer I located behind
Happy Friday, Anna.
the kitchen. In the kitchen.
One of those is sort of a wider angle and one's a close up of the bottle.
Yes, sir. It's behind the island.
All right, I'll offer these as the next two exhibits.
Mr. Scully?
No objection, Your Honor.
It may come in as our next two exhibits.
The close up is 14 and the wider angle is 15. All right. And now calling your attention to the monitor, which just cut out. This item right here, the clear bottle with the orange liquid in it, that is the De-Icer that you were referring to?
Yes, sir.
Did you continue to look around the kitchen at that point, sir?
Yes.
All right. What did you see next that was relevant to you, sir?
Underneath the kitchen island was an open space for a recycling bin.
Okay. And did you take a look in? Did you take a look? You know what was contained inside the recycling bin?
I did.
All right. Hand you the next photograph, sir, and ask you if you recognize that what's depicted in that photo.
I do. That's the recycling bin underneath the island in the kitchen.
And was there something particular in the recycling bin that sort of drew your attention as you looked into it?
Yeah, I noticed a fruit punch PowerAde bottle, which should have been red, and I noted the bottom of the bottle was an orange liquid.
Your Honor, after this is the next exhibit.
Mr. Scully?
No objection, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Exhibit 16, so much.
Nice.
All right, it's tough to see here, but if you look sort of behind what looks like a Mike's Harder Mango, you can see the clear plastic PowerAde bottle that you were referring to. Is that right, sir? Right, kind of where I have my finger pointing.
Yes, it is.
Who turned it off all quick? Oh, there you go.
And did you take the bottle out of the recycling bin at that point to get a slightly closer view of it?
I did.
And handing you another photograph, sir. Do you recognize that to be a picture of that PowerAde bottle that you get now placed on the countertop?
Yes.
I'd offer this as an exhibit, Judge.
Any objection? Very good. Exhibit 17.
17 so much.
And that's the PowerAde bottle?
Yes.
Jesus.
Find anything else in the kitchen, sir?
I located a blender.
Okay.
In the kitchen.
And there wasn't a picture of the blender, but where did you locate that?
I was in the cabinet. I believe it was above the sink.
Okay. So above the kitchen sink.
Yeah, in one of the cabinets.
Okay. Now, did you also go into the bedroom of Miss Church?
Yes.
And inside of the bedroom, sir, did you locate anything inside of the bedroom?
We located 2 notebooks.
All right. Just with the court's permission, hand you a couple of pairs of gloves. I'm gonna try to put them on. I have a broken finger here, which makes it a little difficult, but. I'll just put this one on. I think that'll be better. Hand you 2 items, sir. Ask you to just take a quick look at those and flip through them for a second if you need to. Do you recognize those 2 items?
I do.
All right. What do you recognize those 2 items to be?
These were the 2 notebooks I located in Judy Church's bedroom.
All right. Your Honor, I'd offer these as the next 2 exhibits.
Mr. Scully?
No objection.
Excuse me? We're marking them separately. Yeah. Thank you.
Exhibit 18 and exhibit 19 so much.
And both notebooks contain a number of sort of handwritten notes, stories, lists, fair to say?
Yes.
It's which one's the red spiral? Just so I.
Red, Your Honor, is 19 and purple is 18.
Thank you.
Sir, handing you an item, asking if you recognize that.
I do.
Okay, what do you recognize that to be?
This would be the fruit punch PowerAde that I located in the recycling bin.
Okay, and is it different today as you look at it from when it was when you found it?
Yes.
Okay, what's different about it?
There's no liquid in it.
All right, and you understand that that liquid was taken out during the course of the investigation and tested by various people?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd offer
That's
this
true.
as the next exhibit.
Any objection, Mr. Scully?
No objection. Thank you, Your Honor.
Exhibit 20.
So marked.
You should see Miss Draper try flies.
Not very well.
There you go.
This is the just showing the jury now with the court's permission. What's now been marked as Exhibit 20, the PowerAde bottle that you found in the recycling bin.
Well, guys, now we have a PowerAde bottle. So on my end of things, it is getting, I know it's almost 1 o'clock there, so I thought they would be taking lunch by now.
It contains sort of
But I do apologize, guys. You know, I have to go to get to the party. So I was only able to go to lunchtime today, and it's almost 1 o'clock. So I am actually going to be done for the day. I will finish watching and get it recapped before the weekend is over. And then remember, Monday, I am teaching a class, so I will not be live. So we'll see how it goes for Tuesday or late Tuesday. But either way, we will have all of the we'll have all the recaps, no matter if we get to watch live or not. Happy birthday, ShamWow Cupcakes, Queen Cupcakes. You should have made a list. We need to be making lists. But have a happy birthday. Have fun. Be safe. Everybody enjoy their weekends. And I will see you soon. Y'all have a good one.